Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then boom,
with Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sac.
Good morning.
Good morning.
There we go. Good morning. And what a fine morning it is. It is Friday, December 13th.
How worried do you get about Jason's delay at the very beginning of the show?
Like if you go back and you look, with the exception
Good morning.
With the exception of Monday, because we had those issues anyways, Chris. But if you go to Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or today, and you just watched clips of my face between my good morning and Jason's good morning, you see the stress wrinkles in my forehead, because it's always. And what's weird today is where I'm in New York. I'll be back on Monday. Where I'm at today, for example, the program I use, I'm not getting any levels. So it kind of scared me. I actually called you before the show because I could hear myself, but I was getting no levels, and everything's working. And you, of course, can hear me fine. And it's one of those things where I'm not going to mess with it. We're good.
Good morning.
Friday the 13th, Jason. I see you put that in the chat with Greg and Peg and Michael and all that. Is Friday the 13th still? Do people still,
What do they do for that?
I don't know.
Watch Friday the 13th.
Which one?
Yeah.
Anyone.
Did you say saw people up?
I mean, I don't know. Maybe you're trying to say you want to celebrate the holidays.
Jason's mother was the killer in the first one.
Mine?
No.
Oh, okay, good.
Oh, I don't know God, I know I've seen a Friday the 13th. I know I have. I don't remember any parts of them other than the dude in the hockey mask. That's Jason. Girls running away screaming, and that choo, 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 wah, 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 music.
Yes. And Hockey Mask doesn't come in until about the third one.
And shouldn't the sequel have been Saturday the 14th?
There was a Saturday. That was a movie. There was a Saturday the 14th.
Sunday the 15th. And so
that never happened. I think there was a parody, I want to say, an early, really terrible parody movie, which I believe was Saturday the 14th.
Tuesday the 22nd is coming out next year.
I think Saturday the 14th opened with Transylvania 6 5000 as the double feature, which is a deep cut. I don't know why. Every time I remember that movie, I used to watch, my parents watched Entertainment Tonight. My mom, let's be honest, watched Entertainment Tonight. And they used to have the guy who reviewed the movies was, his name was Leonard Maltin.
Yeah.
Had a beer. You remember Leonard Maltin?
Lenny.
And the promos, it was like jingle singers, but not when they sing, but when they just speak, like 20 people at once, and they go Transylvania 6 5000. And when he reviewed the movie, it showed them going Transylvania 6 5000, and then he goes stinks, and then he went into his review, and I thought that was the funniest thing when I was like 6 or whatever. So
Pretty good bit.
Yeah, speaking of good bits, guys. All right. We don't have a lot of time, but so last time I was over in England, I promised Chris I would bring him back some candy. What I didn't share is that I also had promised my children I would bring them back some different chips, or what they call crisps over there. So I can tell you that we are halfway home. These are stateside, and though I'm leaving back to England on the red eye tonight, these are staying in my room in New York. I have some show and tell. If you're listening on the radio, I'll do the best I can to narrate, but this ain't going to be your favorite segment. Sorry. All right. Roast beef flavored Monster Munch.
Ooh, Monster Munch.
It's crisps in the shape of little monsters. Their feet, I guess. Pickled onion flavored Monster Munch. Sweet and spicy flavored Monster Munch.
Okay, maybe
By
intrigued.
By request from my wife, Heinz beans. She likes them with breakfast. I also got her Heinz beans peri peri flavored. What is peri peri? I don't know, but it says fiery on it. So my guess, it's going to hurt the beehole the next day.
Yeah.
I tried this the other day. I don't know that I like it, but I just kind of want you guys to try it. I'll try to remember to bring it in. It's HP brown sauce. That's what they call it. Brown sauce. By the way, I found out today HP stands for House of Parliament over there, not Hewlett Packard.
Oh, I thought it was a chip.
Guys, have I ever brought these back? Because I get these every time I go over there. These are my favorite cookies, if they will. They call them biscuits, okay? But they have the worst name possible. Digestives.
You've told us about them, but you've never brought them in.
If you can maybe see on the screen, they're chocolate-covered wafery things. It's seriously chocolatey. It says it on there. These get me by in the hotel rooms over there. Every hotel room has a little tea station where you can like make tea, and I have tea and digestives. You asked for Cadbury milk, Christopher. I went a little crazy. Here's a Perky Nana. Now I'm getting one of these from my wife. I believe I've told the story before. When my daughter was about a year and a half, it was right after my son was born. My wife was still depregnating. And my daughter was first learning to speak. She couldn't say words. This is a very true story. And at one point, Avery was in her crib and Melissa was getting ready for work. And she happened to not be wearing anything from the waist up. And Avery was standing in her crib and she pointed at my wife's chest and goes, "Nanaz." And my wife immediately started crying. Part of that was postpartum. And to this day, that's an inside joke. So Perky Nanaz. Banana flavored chew bar covered with delicious milk chocolate. By the way, if you ever see my wife, do not say no. Trust me. I've already broken into these. These are chili beef flavored crinklies. They're oven baked, not fried, guys. They're okay.
Now, when they say chili, is it like how we think of like chili beans, or is it more of a spicy?
I think this one is more of chili beans. That's a good question, Christopher. But yeah, I believe it's. I did get sort of a human flavor there, so I think that's the case.
Like it tasted like human.
Like human.
Oh, human.
Yes, human, Chris. A human flavor.
I mean, in England, it wouldn't surprise me. They eat eels over there.
Ladies and gentlemen, I wasn't making it up the other day. I'm not bringing back jelly eels. Thought of that, not going to happen because I won't try them. Don't care. Usually I say, don't knock until you try it. I'm not trying jelly eels. Not bringing it back from over there.
What about Jason's king of the, you got to try it once. Would you try jellied eels?
To me?
Yeah.
No.
Dude, because if you'd have said that you would have, I would have brought some. I would have actually gone and got
no.
Walker's prawn cocktail.
There we go.
Flavored.
What if I'd be allergic?
Mini cheddars, roasted tomato and cheddar flavored whatever.
How did you not go with cheddar and tomato?
What do you mean? That's what it is.
No, it's cheddar and tomato.
Oh, and
why don't you go cheddar and tomato?
Yeah, and Dave, on the Walker's one, is that just the Lay's logo? Just different?
This does look like a Hellman / Best Food situation. Let me look at the back here. Let me see. This is it's a product of Walker's Snack Foods in Leicester, England. But that's obviously the Lay's logo, right?
Yeah.
Come on. Okay. Flake bar.
Oh, I love a flake bar.
Flake bar. I doubled up on a lot of these because I'm keeping some.
That looks like a keeper.
Crunchy Bits dairy milk.
Ooh.
Are you bringing clothes home?
Double deckers.
Oh, I haven't tried that yet, but I heard it's amazing.
I thought that was when you pooped in the top of the toilet. My own double deckers.
So they are good.
This was they are. They're really good, dude. This wasn't on the list, but I couldn't avoid it. Jaffa cakes.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that.
It sounds fun. We'll have a Jaffa cake. It's a triple pack, and there's 3 of us. This is one of those times where I don't care if the time runs out. White flavored Kit Kats.
Ooh.
Taste like white. Gold Crush Kit Kats with crushed caramel crisps. And after the flight, I imagine the crushed part will 100%. There's a good chance all of this is going to be powdered flavor by the time you get it. Honeycomb flavored Kit Kats.
Ooh, intriguing.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh, they are like, they have so many Kit Kats over there.
Dairy milk. I thought like Japan was the king.
Japan is like the king, but England has a pretty good selection.
Hey, Chris, you ready?
Yes.
Yeah. Fruit pastels, not pastilles as I thought they were. Fruit pastel. Also, they don't say fillet over there; they say fillet.
Yeah. Chick-fil-A.
So it's really weird when you go to the gas station and they give you a fish when you're trying to get gas.
Yeah.
No, what's really weird is when I say my order at Chick-fil-A. They're like, what? I broke into these, as you can see. Walker's roast chicken with Heinz Seriously Good mayonnaise. Guys, not bad. Not gonna lie. I will find out.
Yes.
Here's a whole giant thing of pickled onion Monster Munch. Oh, these are coming apart.
Seriously, are you bringing clothes home?
Roast beef flavored Monster Munch, big pack, but one of them's broken. And finally, they didn't have any Cheez-Its I saw, but they don't have Cheez-Its, but they have Watsits, baked Watsits. I think this is kind of it's like a McDowell's thing. Really cheesy. Yeah. So
Watsits.
Those are like cheese puffs.
Let me see if I can work this out here. Don't tell me to break, Chris. Look at this pile I have, guys. Wait, hold on, let me.
I knew you had a lot, but then seeing that up close. Oh,
yeah. I don't know what I'm going to do. I may have to buy another ticket. Would it be weird just to have? Do you think people look at me funny if I just put a seatbelt over all of this in the seat next to me?
That's an American, all right.
Yeah. So I don't know what I'm gonna do, but guys, I'll figure it. I know I've got a duffel bag completely set up for this, but I just and I'm gonna try. Can you bring a backpack and a duffel bag on with you, or does that count as two check-ins?
I think as long as you have one under a seat, you can do that.
Okay. Then that's
like if you have your backpack and you put it under your seat, and you can take the duffel bag and put it in.
And if you get caught in a pinch, the bags you've already opened, just offer some chips
as a bribe.
Yeah.
Hey, officer, I got some brown sauce.
Yeah. Oh,
which
let him through.
Which if I eat all of this stuff before that flight, I will 100% have some brown sauce. We'll take a break. When we return, it was the best of times. It was the worst of times, as I quote Dickens for Northern California sports fans yesterday. The Kings got to win. The Niners are, they're, yeah, we'll talk about that. And we also have an NFL weekend to preview and a lot of stuff going on, ladies and gentlemen. We've got Greg Papa, the voice of the Niners, who'll try to talk me off the ledge, or maybe he will not. Brendan Nunes shows up at 8 o'clock. Greg, of course, at 9, as always. Niners at 9. Dave Richard, as many of you are entering or perhaps have entered your fantasy football playoffs. We'll talk to him and get some very sage advice as well. It's Dave, it's Jason, it's Chris. It's Friday, which means Friday Fun and Games. We're right back right after this.
Christmas music is everywhere. The smell of gingerbread is in the air. And wait, what's that sound? It's Santa. He's headed back to Sacramento for the 41st Annual Santa Parade, December 14th in downtown Sacramento. Bring your entire family to the parade route around the Capitol for over 100 floats, including marching bands, pageant princesses, clowns, horses, and of course, Santa himself.
The 41st Annual Santa Parade, Saturday, December 14th with Shriners Children's Northern California, Gurnick Academy, and the California Army National Guard. The fun begins at 10 a.m. Get more info at sacktownsports.com.
Hey, what's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet, the Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. What's happening for the Wrap Up the Year sales event?
Well, you have a choice to make. Save up to $17,000 off MSRP on all remaining new 2024 Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xEs. Or save thousands with 0% financing for 72 months. It's savings your way at Hoblet. Not to mention all the savings at the pump with 56 MPGE.
Those are some really nice Jeeps, and you can't beat that mileage.
The Hoblet family dealers is growing with a huge selection of used cars at the Hoblet Certified Pre-Owned Supercenter. With over 220 vehicles available and over 45 under 20,000.
Search, select, and save through our whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection, nobody beats Hoblet, period. $17,000 total net savings on select new 2024 Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xE models after $12,250 factory and federal rebates and $47.50 dealer discounts. Rebates include $500 first responder bonus cash for eligible first responders, $37.50 federal EV tax credit. Consult a tax professional for details. 0% for 72 months available in place of $7,500 consumer cash. Must have 700 plus FICO score to qualify. $13.89 per thousand borrowed. 5% savings. Sample VIN 681180. See dealer for details.
Let's do it. Leading off, the 3 top stories in the morning.
Huge news. This is very important.
Here's cut number 1.
Anytime.
Keegan strips it away. It's grabbed by Sabonis. Sabonis feeds it off to Keegan, throws it ahead to DeRozan. There were whistles in the backcourt. Couldn't hear it over the noise. And a foul was called, I believe, on Nisi.
Oh, can you guys hear that? Sorry. Just putting everything back. Kings win.
Kings win.
Kings win.
Uh-huh.
Kings win. Yeah. They won. Hey, guess what? They won, guys.
Yep.
That's all that matters, right?
Correct.
That is all that matters. Jason, I like to say a win is a win is a win, whether it was a 2-point win, a 10-point win, a 50-point win. It's a win, and it goes down as a win in the win column, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, and to me, there's plenty of things to like. One, the most important thing is it's a win. Number 2, you beat a team you couldn't defeat last year that basically ruined your year. You keep pushing them back behind you. You get back to 500, and it wasn't as smooth as it's been. And that's, what did the Kings struggle at? They're second worst in close games. They haven't shot the ball very well. Well, they were in a close game, and they didn't shoot the ball well, and they won. So you'll take it. We know it could be far prettier, but it doesn't really matter. You add them all up at the end. This would have been a really bad loss. Instead, it's just a win. Maybe an ugly win, but you got through it as a win.
It does not matter that they basically used a 7-man rotation to beat a 5-20 team. It does not matter that they were down at the half to a 5-20 team. It doesn't matter to me that De'Aaron Fox and Malik Monk were a combined 9 of 31 and 2 of 11 from beyond the arc. Does not matter that Kevin Huerter was 2 of 10. And he and Keon Ellis, well, actually, let's just say the whole bench was a combined 2 of 15 with 9 points. None of that matters. Even DeMar DeRozan with his 29 points on a semi-efficient 8 of 18 does not matter because they got the win, Jason.
Yeah, there's been a couple games this year where we've looked like if you just did kind of that, like the box score look, you said, man, there's so many things in this game that would point to a win. Well, there's a lot of things in this game that would point to a loss. Yeah, but they didn't lose, and I think that's important. And getting to 500, I think, is critical. Now they're there. It almost feels like it's a reset of the clock now. I mean, they've knocked out 26 games. Here they are at 500. I think we all believe the record should be a little bit better, but I don't think it's disastrous where they are. And now you got a bunch of games at home coming up. So let's see if they can start making a climb.
Also, was it didn't Duran sing Relax? Or am I messing that up? Relax, don't do it.
No, that's
Who
Frankie
was
Goes
that?
to Hollywood.
Yep.
Oh, that's right. I would like to give our Frankie Goes to Hollywood Relax Award to CJ McCollum. Dude, relax. Okay.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. Every time he plays us, he scores. He's almost one of those guys that you want to acquire just so you don't have to play against him.
He is, I wrote the notes down last night. Last year, he was something absurd, like 78 points in the couple games he played against the Kings and 29 of 48. Like, it's crazy. I think from 3 now in the games he's played against the Kings, 25 of 38. That doesn't even make any sense in the last couple times he's played him.
I was thinking of saving it for later, but in 3 regular season games against the Kings, you got it. 78 points. He shot 60.4% from the field, 70.4% from beyond the arc. He shot over 70% from beyond. Here's what's bad about that. This is why it's so sad. He went 6 of 11 from 3 yesterday, and that actually brought his average down against the Kings from last year. He's got to relax, dude.
And he almost, like, it was 13 with 5 minutes to go. I'm like, all right, this is nice. Good win, kind of cruise in. And then you're like, oh my gosh, are they going to, New Orleans had 2 looks at it in the last 2 possessions with the ball in a 1-possession game. Like, they could have won that game. And I thought he was going to do that.
We'll talk about it quite a bit later, obviously. Well, look, it's a win. It's a win.
Yep.
It's a win. So that's all that matters. Was not a perfect win, but a win nevertheless. In the meantime, everybody who won yesterday, take 1 step forward. Oh, not so fast, San Francisco.
Cut number 2.
I thought we played good enough to win, and obviously on defense and special teams, but we just definitely didn't play good enough on offense. I thought the main thing, didn't get the run game going, which was huge. I thought that was the difference in the 2 offenses. They got the run game going better than we did, and we had a couple opportunities there in the pass game that, I think could have led to 14 points, and didn't have a lot of them, but we definitely had a couple and didn't make those, and that's what it led to.
Yeah. The Niners lose. They lost an incredibly ugly game. There's always hope, but you faced a Rams team that gave up 42 points the week before on a short week, and your offense managed 6 points against a team that also, by the way, Cooper Kupp didn't have a catch. Right. Like, if you'd have told me yesterday that Cooper Kupp would be 0 for 0 with 0 yards, I would have said, well, that sounds great for us. But the Niners couldn't pass the ball. The Niners couldn't run the ball. The Niners quarterback looked, I'll say it, turdy yesterday. This is not a good team. They're too hurt, and in all seriousness, they've just had too much emotional and physical injury and baggage this year. So look, I'm not into comparing life and death to sports, but in a sports metaphor, this is a team that was on the brink, and we just unplugged the season. So they're done. We'll talk about it today. In my opinion, they are still, I believe, mathematically alive, but I'm choosing to move forward with. If this was the election center, I'm ready to announce that we have a verdict, and the San Francisco 49ers will officially miss the playoffs this year, Jason. A rough game at Levi Stadium.
Yeah, we said it was a must-win, and in a must-win game at home on a short week. I know weather was probably a bit of a factor, but no touchdowns in the game. None. And none for you as the home team. Besides all that big drop that could have helped, a late pick that was crucial. And then really, I think what's going to end up, maybe covering the 49ers a little bit for a short amount of time is the refusal by Campbell to go in. I mean, that's just ridiculous. And I think that's become a big topic over the last, over the evening as well. That it just feels like everything with the team right now is broken.
Who's the player that retired in the third quarter? Was it for the Bills? Was it Vernon?
Yeah, not Vernon Davis, Devontae Davis, maybe.
Was it somebody retired like a few years ago? I remember, like in the middle of the game. Yeah.
I think it was Devontae Davis, I think was his name.
We'll talk about that. I know we've got sound from Kyle Shanahan, George Kittle. We play sound from Moody Ward, but it's mostly bleeps. We'll talk a lot about the Niners, including with Greg Papa at 9 a.m. Don't forget Brendan Nunes, Sacktown Sports Kings Insider at 8, Dave Richard at 7 a.m. When we come back, though, Jason's got audio for you. The Kings finally beat the New Orleans Pelicans. He's got the audio next.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sacktown Sports has you covered.
Touchdown! San Francisco! It's all on his shoulders. Fox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sacktown Sports and SacktownSports.com.
You and your tailgate team. Download the app, join the Fuel Rewards program today, and game on. Restrictions apply. Limited time. At participating Shell stations. For more details, visit fuelrewards.com.
Get year-end pricing during Happy Honda Days at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop for great pricing on our entire selection of new CRVs, HRVs, Ridgeline Civics, and Accords. Plus, with low finance and lease options, now's the time to buy. Hurry in and save during Happy Honda Days at Folsom Lake Honda, or go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave coming to you from a good friends at American Energy. Look, it's already cold outside. It's only going to get colder. American Energy wants to help you stay warm and make sure your system is operating safely. So right now is the time to take advantage of the $49 tune-up inspection. Normally $119, $49 right now, and that includes a full safety and duct inspection. And check it out. If your system's over 10 years old, and I'll bet it is, the tune-up, yeah, it's free. It's free from a company that's been in business since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ Better Business Bureau. Check their Yelp, check their Google reviews. Don't take my word for it. Give them a call right now. $50 off your first recommended repair. If you need a new furnace, half off the price of a new unit. Check them out at the AEway.com and tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Call 916-520-9998 now.
Don't you just love this time of year and the holidays when families get together to make memories? Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. From the time I was a youngster, the family table was always filled with a gathering of grandparents, aunts and uncles, brothers and sisters. Those are memories that will live with me forever. Naturewood Home Furnishings Holiday Home Sale going on right now gives you the opportunity to find the perfect holiday gift that will last a lifetime. You'll find unique gifts like gleaming accessories for every room, now 20% off. During Naturewood's Holiday Home Sale, you'll find savings all around the store for every room in your home. Find your perfect bit of Christmas for your home at Naturewood Home Furnishings Holiday Home Sale going on right now. The memories you make with your family will be with you forever. Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Hey, it's time to open up your calendar app for some incredible live events coming your way. This is the Sacktown Sports Live Events Calendar, bringing you the hottest shows in town. Kick off 2025 with country superstars Dylan Scott and Jackson Dean. They're hitting the stage at Thunder Valley on January 10th for a night of hot country hits. Then on January 11th, laugh until your sides hurt with comedy legend Bill Engvall. He's performing live at Thunder Valley, a show you won't want to miss. And the one and only Justin Timberlake is bringing electrifying energy to the Golden One Center on January 15th. This is your chance to see an icon in action. For a more intimate vibe, catch Bryce Vine at Ace of Spades on January 25th. It'll be an unforgettable night of alternative hip-hop. And finally, looking ahead to February 20th, Old 60 lights up Ace of Spades with their unique blend of rock and soul. Get your tickets now because these shows will sell out fast. For details and updates, visit Sacktown sacktownsports.com. And stay tuned. This is your ticket to the best live entertainment in the 916, the Sacktown Sports live events calendar.
Coach Doug Christie here for your truck headquarters, Folsom Lake Ford. Shop all your favorite models on sale now, like America's best-selling F-Series. Check out a huge selection of Mavericks, F-150s, and Super Duty trucks, or tech-filled SUVs like Explorers and Expeditions. Plus a huge selection of Broncos and Bronco Sports. All in stock now at Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall. Right now, buy any new Ford with zero down on approval of credit. Save big with low interest finance rates. And Folsom Lake Ford always pays top dollar for your trade. Hurry to Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall, a 6-time Triple Crown winner for sales and service excellence. That's why they are my trusted dealer, and they should be yours too. For 35 years and counting, come down and take a test drive today. Tell them Coach Doug Christie sent you, or shop online at FolsomLakeFord.com.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
On Sacktown Sports.
Welcome back. Carmichael Dave, Jason Ross, Christopher Live. You can text us at 916-339-1140 from the 209. The purple panic button is safely in the drawer, I hope. But the red and gold got pummeled. I'm a Raider fan. Our basement panic room is staffed by grief counselors, so I'm not reveling. I'm sympathetic. Well, you know what? That's probably the nicest thing I'm going to see from a Raider fan today.
Sympathetic Raiders fan?
Yeah, that ain't happening. I haven't even gone into the YouTube chat yet, but I bet it is just a mess of boogers and crap being thrown around by our resident Burf Nation in there. Yeah. That's fine. They're gonna enjoy themselves. They're getting behind the Shadur Sanders bandwagon. He's the next hope. I'll bring him back to. Well, you never know. Maybe. Jason, in the meantime, though, the Sacramento Kings, their season is far from done, and they're officially on a winning streak. That's right. A 3-game win is a win streak, and you have some audio to take us through from last night.
Yeah, courtesy of the great G-Man Gary Gerald, as heard right here on Sacktown Sports last night. Yeah, they had lost 6 in a row all last year to the Pelicans. The Pelicans eliminated the Kings in the play-in, so it's their first time back in New Orleans. This is a game that was added to the schedule, as we know, Dave. And so the Kings early on had an early run, and things were looking pretty good, and it was going to end up being a big night for Domantas Sabonis.
Sabonis coming down the lane, and the Kings now lead at 16-7. Timeout taken by Willie Green. Well, a good push here after the Kings trailed 7-2. They're now on top 16-7. That's 14 unanswered points for Mike Brown's ball club.
Yeah, and I think the one thing, it's one time they've played New Orleans this year, and obviously Zion was out, and so was Ingram, Alvarado, a couple guys that will be important. But I think last year in the series, the one thing that I think we all noticed, Dave, was that Sabonis, he scored. He did fine against Valanciunas, but that's just one of those centers that has bothered him. And last night it was not the same. He was able to kind of run free and do whatever he wanted.
Yeah, he completely owned that matchup. And Sabonis, weirdly, he always tends to have issues with Euro-trained centers. And I think that's because of the footwork on both sides and just how much it's concentrated on over there. He'd much rather have that matchup than Valanciunas, because that's just two sides of beef slapping together for 48 minutes. He was fantastic. We have all kinds of numbers on him. We'll get to in just a second, but take us along the ride, Jason.
Yeah. All right. So more from the first quarter then, as the Kings had that run we just heard, but then kind of, a game of runs gave some of it back before the end of the quarter. We hear from De'Aaron Fox.
Fox drives inside, gets to the rim and scores. That's the first time that De'Aaron, I believe, in this game has been able to get to the basket off the dribble, and he is tied to score as a result.
Yeah, actually, that was in the second quarter. So by halftime, Kings led by 2 after 1. At halftime, they were down to, on the radio side here at our halftime post-game show. I didn't really like the way the Kings had played. I was kind of encouraged, though, that they were just down 2 because, something big could happen, and that something big that would happen happened in the third. And it was a guy we were told just, doesn't make threes. And DeMar DeRozan started to go off in the third
Jones
quarter.
knocked down that triple. Kings come back quickly. Out on top, DeRozan. He nails his third consecutive 3-ball.
Yeah, that was fun. That was fun to watch DeMar get crazy hot in the third. But the other guy who, Kings built a 10-point lead at 1 point late third right before the end of the quarter. He's officially a Kings killer, CJ McCollum.
Rebound pulled down with 6 seconds to go by the Pelicans. Jones cross-court to McCollum. He'll try to beat the buzzer. Euros into the lane. The 2-pointer is good. It hung for a moment, and then it fell in. It's an 8-point game going to the fourth quarter in New Orleans. Sacramento on top 91-83 against a team that beat them 6 consecutive times last season.
Yeah, and then as we get to the fourth, Dave, Kings with 5 minutes to go. I had it written down here, up 104-91. Largest lead, up 13, 5 minutes left. Feeling really good. Well, New Orleans would start to make a push, and so Sacramento needing some, closing hoops. They really weren't that efficient late in the game, but one of their big baskets late came from Keegan Murray.
Here's Fox driving inside, kicks to Keegan, baseline right. One dribble, leans in, floater, good, off the dribble. 8 to 10 foot range, right baseline by Keegan Murray. 111-106.
Yeah, still anybody's game in the last 2 minutes, up by 5, 2-possession game. CJ McCollum, though, would get it down to a 1-possession game.
Diggs into 2-point range. Fox knocks it away. McCollum controls it. He draws the foul, scores the basket off contact. Fox can't believe the call from Kevin Cutler. It's going to be a 3-point opportunity for C.J. McCollum and a chance to make this a 2-point game.
All right, he did. So 111-108. There's 90 seconds left in the game at that point, or 124 left. There were 4 possessions remaining in the game. Fox missed a 3. C.J. McCollum missed an 8-foot jump shot. DeMar DeRozan missed a 20-foot jump shot. Then with the final possession opportunity for the Pelicans, it was actually the Kings defense that saved the day.
Working against Keegan. Keegan strips it away. It's grabbed by Sabonis. Sabonis feeds it off to Keegan, throws it ahead to DeRozan. There were whistles in the backcourt. Couldn't hear it over the noise. And a foul was called, I believe, on Nunes.
Yeah, and that left 1 second to go. I think officially the box score has given a block to Malik Monk, but it was a defensive stop, Dave. And a night where the offense wasn't smooth, wasn't crisp, wasn't as dominant as they've been. Kind of the defense at the end helped them survive and hang on and beat the Pelicans finally.
Who stripped that away?
Well, on the G-Man said Murray, which I thought he might have, but I'm looking at the official box score. They actually are calling that a Malik Monk block.
Block. Okay, let me see.
And I thought
here.
Monk was given a steal, but they're calling Monk a block. Murray was the on-ball defender, but Monk kind of came in and reached his hand in there.
I want to stick with what G-Man said because it helps my bit that I want to do here. So Keegan Murray with the strip. We're just going to call it a Keegan Murray strip.
Okay.
Also had 18 and 10, but I thought Keegan Murray was terrible. I thought he was bad. Nope, not that. Here, that's what I'm looking for. I want to hear from Russell. You guys hear that, or is it not coming through?
Yeah, is Russell a bird?
Is he? I feel like that's a. Yeah. Oh.
Is that a rusty wheel?
It's supposed to be crickets, but it sounds kind of weird. No, sorry. I should not mess with these buttons. Actually, I'm going to give Russell some credit. Russell, before you start typing in the chat, I want to give him some credit. Russell, here's some of his comments in the chat, Jason. Win streak activated. Pelicans curse is over. Good day to be a Kings fan. 3 wins in a row. What a game. I want to reward the positivity with you're supposed to reward good behavior. Yeah. Monk and Fox weren't great last night. The bench, to their standards, the bench was back to their lame bench. A lot of things negative But you know what, Jason? That's where it pays to have multiple very good players because, hey, maybe Fox and, maybe Fox and Monk don't have it tonight. Maybe this guy, that guy, whatever. But, oh, look, there's Sabonis. There's DeRozan. And what a game by Domantas Sabonis celebrating his big ESPN.com article from yesterday. Just a couple quick numbers on him. Domantas Sabonis joined just two other Kings players to record 20 or more points and 12 or more rebounds in a half since the 96-97 season. I'll bet you I can give you guys two guesses and you'll get the other two.
Sabonis again and Joker?
No. It's three Kings, three separate Kings. One of them is Sabonis. Two other Kings since 96-97 have had 20 or more points, 12 or more rebounds in a single half.
Cousins and Weber?
Cousins and Weber, I said. I give you two guesses. You'll get it. That is correct. Cousins and Weber. But here's something. Domantas Sabonis put up 32 points on 11 of 15 shooting, as well as 20 rebounds in the win. It's just the 8th time somebody has had a 30-20 game on 80% or more true shooting in the last 30 years, Jason Ross.
I mean, the guy consistently puts up the numbers. I thought that was some interesting conversation yesterday, Dave, we had about him and with Sam, like just kind of what some of the league thought is about him. But look, when you do what he did last night with a consistency of throughout the game, that was really impressive.
Yeah, remember when you called him problematic?
Yeah.
Wow. Earl has checked in, though. He's picking up the torch. The Kings have 3 wins in a row against teams that are combined 20 and 41. Look, I'm not gonna hammer Earl on that because you know what, he's right. They do have 3 wins in a row. They have 3 wins in a row against one not great and 2 terrible teams, but they have won 4 of 5, including the Houston win, and which is, again, my favorite win of the year. I still say that Memphis game, they lost at Memphis, but Memphis is a good team, and they're very good at home, and the Kings lost by 5. Either way, you play the schedule you're in front of, but to his point, you got Denver, you got a back-to-back home both back-to-back at Golden One Center with the Lakers, and you have Indiana. They say take those games in 5, the season in 5 games. I say take the season in 4 games. This is a test. You're gonna have Halliburton coming back on the 22nd of December. Everybody's gonna be wearing their ugly Christmas sweaters. They actually, they honestly have some very winnable games, but these are not easy teams to play. So I'll be very interested to see their performance against these squads.
Yeah, which is kind of funny. I mean, I don't disagree with the kind of what the record is of the teams they just played, but like the next 4 you're talking about, Denver, what is it? Lakers, Indiana. I mean, Denver's 12-10. Lakers are 13-11. Indiana is, where are they? 10-15. But that feels different, doesn't it? With those teams, just the names, the branding of that. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. Lots more Kings to talk about. Dave Richard will join us in about 17 minutes. In the meantime, let's get to the Niners. They fell to the Rams last night. We'll get into some of the storylines and playoff implications, or not, next.
Christmas music is everywhere. The smell of gingerbread is in the air. And wait, what's that sound? It's Santa. He's headed back to Sacramento for the 41st Annual Santa Parade, December 14th in downtown Sacramento. Bring your entire family to the parade route around the Capitol for over 100 floats, including marching bands, pageant princesses, clowns, horses, and of course, Santa himself.
The 41st Annual Santa Parade, Saturday, December 14th with Shriners Children's Northern California, Gurnick Academy, and the California Army National Guard. The fun begins at 10 a.m. Get more info at sacktownsports.com.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
Ready for winter? Forecasters are already predicting record sick days. Don't become a healthcare statistic. Fight sickness with fitness. Create a daily workout and stick to it. Let the Good Feet store help you meet your workout goals. With Good Feet Arch Supports, the pain in your feet, knees, hips, and back become history. And Good Feet Arch Supports are HSA and FSA eligible. Visit goodfeet.com for an appointment or just stop in. The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Vacaville, and in Reno on South Virginia Street.
How was your drive to school?
Let me tell you, I had to get my iced coffee first. I just can't seem to put it down. My favorite rapper just announced a tour. My phone was buzzing like crazy. I'm so excited. I had to text all my friends right then to talk about it. Then someone started calling me and...
Let's try that again.
I turned my phone off right away. I never drive distracted.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Ooh, ma. What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud Phone System. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very
calm. I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
O'Reilly. Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free and provides a report with solutions based on over 650 million vehicle scans verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we can recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
It's your last chance to snag Dell Technologies' lowest prices of the year before the holidays. The future is on sale today with limited time deals on select PCs like the XPS 16 that accelerate AI with Intel Core Ultra processors. This is their biggest sale of the year and the best time to upgrade, but it's only here for a limited time. Shop now at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
Thunder, feel the thunder.
It ignites something inside of you.
Lightning and the thunder.
Sets alight an elevated state of being. Days are pure exhilaration. And the nights, they're simply electric. See it, hear it, feel it.
Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
Ho, 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 ho. Looks like you made the ice list this year.
Santa, don't you mean the nice list?
No, ice, because Prestigio Jewelers carries all the ice you need.
For over 30 years, Prestigio Jewelers has offered in-house financing and fine jewelry. Guaranteed credit approval between $400 and $10,000 with no money down options. Make this Christmas season unforgettable. The perfect jewelry, the perfect price, helping you build perfect credit. With locations in Sacramento, Stockton, Merced, and Fresno, or online at prestigiojewelers.com.
Waking you up with the best in local sports.
They just make it interesting, you know?
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sacktown Sports.
Hey, welcome back. Hey, turns out Russell was trolling us all. He's actually, being Russell again. Well, you beat a bad team. Hey, whatever, pal. Feel that way. Right, Jason?
Sure.
I have a stat I want to give you because I have no other place to put this in the show, and I really don't want to talk about the Niners. I know we have to. This was the stat of the day I got yesterday. Are you aware of the San Francisco Giants streak they have going on right now? If I say the Giants have a streak going on, does that make any sense?
The one that would come to my head would be their opening day starting left fielder.
That would be the one.
Okay.
Since Barry Bonds started in left field for the Giants in 2007, I'm a Giants fan, and I mean, like, you hear about it and you go, oh, but here's their starting left fielders on opening day. Dave Roberts, Fred Lewis, Mark DeRosa, Pat Burrell, Aubrey Huff, Andres Torres, Mike Morse, Nori Aoki, Angel Pagan, Jarrett Parker, Hunter Pence, Connor Joe, Alex Dickerson, Austin Slater, Jock Peterson, Blake Sable, and Michael Conforto. They have started a different player in left field. Okay, let me put it a different way. A person that was born the day Barry Bonds started in left field for the Giants in 2007 can now join the military, legally vote, buy a pack of camels. 18 straight years, dude. So
bananas.
Isn't that bananas?
It is.
B-A-N-A-N-A-S. As was the well, I wouldn't call the Niners game bananas yesterday unless it was everybody slipping on a banana peel. A combined 18 points. Congratulations if you took the under, which I guarantee you was, the over-under was quite a bit more than 18, I would imagine. Probably somewhere in the, I don't know, probably 44, 46, somewhere in there. It was just a crap game, Jason. I have no spin on it. It was a crap game. The Niners look like crap. I guess if you wanted to bright side the Niners, with Greenlaw just coming back, without Bosa, with all that, they held a team that scored 44 against Buffalo to 12. So there's that. If you'd have told me the Rams would score 12 yesterday, if you'd have told me the Rams would score 12 and Cooper Kupp would not have a catch, I would have said the Niners are winning this ball game. That was not the case. They could only score 6. Yeah, it sucked.
Yeah, I think, the bright spot, I guess, like you said, would be when Greenlaw came back. He had actually an incredible first half, but he also leads into the story to me still of the game is he kind of got, when he needed help, when he got hurt or left the game, he needed help. They needed someone else there, and Campbell wasn't there. And it just, every single person that has commented on this, and I'm talking about people that have played football, so NFL players, like, this is almost the largest and biggest criminal sin you can make, from them, like, in being such a team sport, how difficult it is. It doesn't matter what's going on in your life. I mean, it doesn't, like, to everyone else. Like, you might be going through stuff, and maybe you're frustrated that you've been playing and now you're not because of Greenlaw, but I get it. But you were asked to play, and just don't be active then. And once you're active, you're going to get critiqued for how you play. And to say you don't want to play, there's no excuse for that.
Yeah, and this is a veteran. This is a guy that's been around. And he is almost, I have to think any minute now, he's going to get cut. And who knows if another team brings him on. In fact, I was reading something earlier when he came over to the Niners from the Packers. He went on Twitter and was hammering the Packers. That's just stuff that goes around the league. And I don't know who's going to take a chance on a guy that quits on his teammates. It's just not the case. It's not the case. It doesn't happen in sports, almost never. And the reason we know that it's almost never is because we can remember the couple of times it did. And you had Kyle Shanahan mention it. You had Charvarius Ward saying that was he said, quote, that was some sucker blank. You had George Kittle say, I've never seen that. I've never been around that, and I don't ever want to be around that again. So, yeah.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Nope. Finish. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, you've got that, which feels like a immediate team issue. But I also feel like the other one with, for lack of a better term, this team isn't going to make it. We know that now. I mean, they're not, again, mathematically, there's some avenues here, but that was a killer loss. I think the Brock Purdy question sometimes can, if you do it week by week, it's like, okay, look, the guy's done more good things than not. But, that's a big financial investment they're going to make, and they probably have to make. But when there are rumors, Dave, of like, could they go someone like Kirk Cousins and could they do another route? I don't know. Games like last night, Purdy had a big mistake late. Certainly wasn't his best game. And I think when it's all lined up well, he looks pretty darn good, but it doesn't always go that way. So I don't know. I think it's fair to question that. I'm not questioning him as a quarterback. I'm questioning the decision that they have to make.
No, I completely agree. They got a lot of things to do. They got a lot of things to solve in the offseason. I know we got a break. I'll give you real quick as we go to break. One other reason why I really am pissed off at Devondre Campbell, because I went down a rabbit hole with him, and I think maybe it's because I was tired. But his dad's name is Luther Campbell, and so I went down this whole rabbit hole because I was like, wait a minute, that's Luke Campbell's real name. Is Devondre Campbell's dad a member of Two Live Crew? Is he Uncle Luke? Mm-hmm. And I actually went through this whole rabbit hole because his dad's name does go by Luke Luther, and no, he is not. So, but the other thing is Devondre Campbell was born in Florida, so I thought I was onto something there, but I'm not. He was not a member of Two Live Crew. We'll take a break. When we come back, that's the type of info people tune in for. Dave Richards, CBS Sports, Fantasy Football, next.
Christmas music is everywhere. The smell of gingerbread is in the air. And wait, what's that sound? It's Santa. He's headed back to Sacramento for the 41st annual Santa Parade, December 14th in downtown Sacramento. Bring your entire family to the parade route around the Capitol for over 100 floats, including marching bands, pageant princesses, clowns, horses, and of course, Santa himself.
The 41st annual Santa Parade, Saturday, December 14th with Western Health Advantage, Gurnick Academy, and the California Army National Guard. The fun begins at 10 a.m. Get more info at sacktownsports.com.
Well, we have entered that holiday season. We're here. We're officially here. Time to be festive, time to be appreciative, time to be thankful for what we have and grateful for who we have in our lives. And right now, you know who we have? We have the Overhead Door Company of Sacramento, available to you, to me, to all of us. And they are truly appreciative of you as their current customers. That's existing customers, longtime customers, faithful customers, or maybe brand new customers, just like me and just like you can be. And they're stuck with me because I know a good thing when I see it. They've been terrific for us. Come out to our house a couple times. We've done the measuring. The garage doors are coming, and so excited about what the new look will be. And to show you their support for you, for me, and for all of us, the Overhead Door Company of Sacramento wants to show you their appreciation and just how thankful they are for you, and offer you $25 off your annual garage door service. Now, that includes service and repair to your doors, like garage door spring replacement, new rollers, cable repair, hinges, or just general service. And they've been doing this for a long time. How about 70-plus years? Third-generation family-owned and operated company, and they have been doing this very, very well. Now, that's residential. It's also commercial, and it's new doors or repairs to existing doors. They're here to help, and with quick and easy installs and friendly professionals, you get the best return on investment. You can go to the showroom. It's on Franklin Boulevard, and that's the place you need to see for yourself. Check out their website at ohdsac.com or call them at 916-421-3747. The Overhead Door Company of Sacramento, the original overhead door. Always look for the red ribbon logo.
Do you have an invention idea but don't know what to do next? Call InventHelp now for free information on how to get started today. InventHelp provides invention services that help everyday inventors get started with their idea. We have representatives nationwide who will explain the InventHelp process step by step. Over 10,000 patents have been secured through InventHelp's patent referral services. Our services include professional materials needed to showcase your invention, and 3D animation and prototype modeling that help you demonstrate your idea. Get down to the details of your idea with a technical drawing. The InventHelp Data Bank includes thousands of companies who have agreed to review new ideas. We've been helping inventors since 1984. Let's help you next. Take advantage of the opportunity to get started today.
Call 1-800-217-4380. That's 1-800-217-4380. Again, 1-800-217-4380.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Dirk Fedorn in the KCRA 3 Weather Center, and today we are going to see some breaks in the rain, but still some periods of showers will be popping up through the morning and into the afternoon. Temperatures warming into the mid to upper 50s for daytime highs with winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
DC here, and if you've been thinking about a new car, don't miss year-end savings at Folsom Lake Kia. Hurry in for low payments and zero-down deals with approved credit. Folsom Lake Kia, over 25 years, right here in Folsom.
Power Business Technology is proud to be a 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer since 2021. Contact us today for all your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at PowerCopiers.com.
I'm Craig Ashton with the injury law firm of Ashton & Price. It may sound contradictory for a personal injury firm to wish you a safe holiday season, but we at Ashton & Price wish that no one has to suffer an injury in an automobile collision. But if you're an accident injury victim, you can lean on Ashton & Price to do all the legal legwork, then introduce you to the best medical care providers in the area, so during this holiday season you can focus on your health and your family. So from all of us at Ashton & Price, we advise you to have the happiest and safest of holidays.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Sacramento's premier country music festival, Country in the Park, is coming back May 16th and 17th at Cal Expo with Bailey Zimmerman, Billy Currington, Cole Wetzel, Nate Smith, and more. You'll enjoy food trucks, rock walls, and a mechanical bull, line dancing, and more. Single-day GA tickets start at $52 at CITPFest.com. It's Country in the Park, May 16th and 17th with Good Guys Heating and Cooling. Find out more at CITPFest.com.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hobba Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. What's happening for the wrap-up the year sales event?
Well, I can't believe we made this work. I had to double check to make sure it was legit. But right now, you can lease a new 2024 Dodge Hornet RT plug-in for as low as $5 a month plus tax for 24 months with $49.95 due at signing.
Sorry, I must have misheard you. Did you say $5 a month?
I know, it's crazy. But for less than the cost of a cup of coffee each month, you can be driving around a brand new Dodge Hornet. But this $5 a month deal can't last long.
Yeah, I can see why. If you want a new car with a monthly payment half the price of a fast food meal, you better hurry into Hoblet Dodge in Woodland. Search, select, and save through our whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection, nobody beats Hoblet, period. $5 for 24-month lease offer before tax and license. Must be California West Business Center resident. Rebates include $6,500 SFS hybrid electric federal tax credit, subject to change without notice, and $2,500 West BC lease cash. $49.95 due at signing. 10,000 miles per year with 30-cent fee per mile over. Tax and license extra for this net savings. Sample VIN A13914. See dealer for details.
All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacramento's official home of the 49ers.
San Francisco.
Sacktown Sports, 1140.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
All right, welcome back. Carmichael Dave, Jason Ross, taking you all the way till 10 a.m. on a wonderful Friday. Kings win, Niners lose. But no matter what's going on in the world, we know that now we get to see as well as hear from CBS Sports, the one, the only, the fantasy guru, the Miami fan, Dave Richard. Good morning.
As long as you don't smell me, I think we're good, Dave.
Oh, I'll bet you smell like
that's the limit.
I'll bet you smell like pine and victory.
No, there's definitely pine smell would mess me up. I don't dig that at all. I've I smell clean. I
Yeah,
think I smell
yeah.
clean.
You look clean.
Showered this
victory
morning,
part.
shaved. Yeah, I'm going to be on TV later, so I better look as good as I can.
Well, you look better than the Niners did last night, and we'll have a Niner question a bit later. I do want to run something by you, and I want to caveat this that I was just looking online, and you may or may not, your memory and your knowledge is way better than mine. These may not all be ones you agree with, but when you look at number one picks through the years in fantasy football, we know what happened with Christian McCaffrey this year. These are just consensus. Justin Jefferson the year before, perhaps Jonathan Taylor the year before, McCaffrey the previous two, Saquon Barkley with the Giants, Le'Veon Bell in 18, David Johnson in 17, Antonio Brown was good in 16, Le'Veon Bell in 15, LaShawn McCoy in 14, and a lot of these were not just busts, but had season-ending injuries. Look, I know that what happened before doesn't mean it's going to happen this year, but are you of the mind that if your league allows it, do you want to pick in a snake draft? Can we actually have a conversation about maybe it's better to pick lower than higher here, or we just move on?
First of all, are you insinuating that we stink at telling or recommending who goes in the 101 in fantasy drafts?
No, I think that the players stink at dealing with the pressure of the very smart fantasy gurus putting the number one crown on them, and then they wilt under the pressure.
Yeah, I'm sure they think about that all the time. I still don't mind having the opportunity to pick whoever I want before anybody else in my league does. I consider that an advantage. It doesn't mean that I need to consider all the options that I have, and the rationale behind why, just as an example, McCaffrey this year, why it made sense was because of what we expected. We didn't know that the injury that he had was going to sideline him for 10 games. If we had known that, of course, we wouldn't have even put him anywhere close to the 5th round, much less the 1st round. But I think the answer to your question is, if you want to safeguard against that opportunity to take a player ahead of everyone else in the league, i.e. you fear making a mistake, you go back. That number changes every year. It's not a hard thing. Oh, you have to go back 4 spots or 5 spots. No, you make a list of all the players you'd be comfortable with taking first. However many players are there, you're going to count them up. Whatever that number is, that's where you want to pick. It guarantees you one of 4 players, 5 players, 6 players. And then you're picking early in round 2. So you're not getting one guy ahead of everybody else in the league, but you are potentially getting 2 guys before a third of the league, half the league, depending on where you go in round 1, and assuming that it's a snake draft. Some people participate in auctions, and this whole conversation just flies out the window. By the way, everybody should be playing in auctions. That's something that you're going to hear a lot of from me this offseason. I want to make a move to encourage people to go with auctions instead of snake drafts. They are much more fun. And then you don't have to worry about getting the number 1 pick. You just get who you want anyway in that type of format.
Agreed.
Yeah. I was thinking before that last comment, Dave, about the auction part is, the first pick is important. If they live up to the billing, that's going to be a person that's going to do a lot of heavy lifting on your team. But it feels like the history of playing these, it's who you got in the 7th round, who you got in the 12th round that overperforms, who you picked up on the waiver wire. What trade you make is almost as important as that first pick.
I like to think of it this way, Jason. If you can nail one pick from round 7 on, you're ahead of the curve. Because most people can't do that. Most people, when they pick somebody between round 7 and the end of the draft, usually they'll be okay. You'll get some decent players. You'll get some guys that might start for you. But I'm talking about someone that evolves into a superstar fantasy player, like Puka Nacua would have qualified last year. Kyron Williams would have qualified last year. Chuba Hubbard qualified this year. We talked about him during the preseason as someone that we love drafting in the late rounds. I didn't think he would end up being this good or playing this much for this long, but here he is, and fantasy managers are starting him, no questions asked. The other part of it is exactly what you said, the waiver wire. It is a huge factor. And it's very rare for somebody to draft a team and then not have to make moves to fix their team, especially this year. It felt like there were a bazillion injuries every single week. But those are kind of the 2 secrets to fantasy that people don't always realize. And I'm hoping that people remember, if they remember one thing from this, it's that I smell good. And that getting one good player with the back half of your picks. That's what you should aim for on draft day. And then being vigilant on the waiver wire. It is a must. And if you can do that, you will be a competitive team in your fantasy league.
So coming from a guy who in his two main leagues, that's me, is a combined 10 and 18. It's been a bad year, David. It's been a really bad year.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it happens. As we move on, I am curious, in your way too early, and we won't hold it against you, 2025 draft cheat sheet, where is Christian McCaffrey going to be?
Well, I think the first question needs to be, where is Christian McCaffrey going to be? Is he still
assuming he's with the Niners? Yeah, assuming he's with the Niners, and assuming he goes in 100% healthy.
I think people will still take him with an early round pick. They'll still see that upside. They know what he's capable of doing. They might be a little bit more worried about the injuries. And when I say a little, I mean a whole lot. But also, I would imagine that the Niners will start to spell him more often if he's there. So he might not see the same type of snap share from game to game, maybe a few less touches from game to game. But I would guess that if he's still there and he's really okay, people will take him with like a top 20 pick, a top 18 pick. Maybe even some people will say, you know what? I got to have this guy. I can draft Jordan Mason or whoever the backup is later, and I'll take him with a late first round pick. People might have a fairly short memory, especially if all the reports are glowing and if the Niners really don't do anything differently with their backfield this offseason.
You know, Dave, last week while you were on, I think you saved a lot of people. The name you kept mentioning, you said, hey, look, if he's available in your leagues, go for Zach Charbonnet. And Charbonnet nearly 200 yards of total offense, couple touchdowns. As we get to likely playoffs week one, maybe it's next week for some, but most likely around this week. What any super secret depth chart running backs that, hey man, I'm in a pinch, I've got a McCaffrey that I can't play, or whoever that you go, I might be able to save the day for you?
Well, let's start with DSTs, and they're kind of an overlooked position in fantasy, but this is in an area where if you get this right, you'll have the chance at a commanding lead over your opponent. I would double check if the Ravens DST is available because they play the Giants. I would double check on the Falcons DST for two reasons. Number one, they take on the Raiders, and if it's Desmond Ridder throwing for them instead of Aiden O'Connell, I wouldn't mind the Falcons defense this week, and I might not mind them even if it is Aiden O'Connell. But they play the Giants next week, and this Giants offense, they've got a great player in Malik Neighbors, and they've got a potential decent running back in Tyrone Tracy, but the offensive line's terrible, the quarterback's terrible, the play calling hasn't been great, and their defense is falling apart. So usually that's a good recipe for almost any defense to beat up on little brother. The Saints DST, which has been terrible all year, was not bad last week. Commanders, they take on the Saints this week. They're a 1 week option. The Cardinals have the Patriots this week, and then they've got the Panthers the week after that. This is where I might try and plan ahead, is with DSTs. Get a DST. Like if I can get my hands on the Ravens, or if I already have the Ravens, I'm going to want them. I'm starting them against the Giants. I'm expecting big things, but I'm going to drop somebody that I'm not going to use on my bench, and I'm going to pick up the Falcons now in hopes that I make the semifinal in my fantasy league, or in their smaller leagues, I make the first round, and I can use the Falcons DST. Kind of play a week ahead. You can do that if you're streaming tight ends. You can do that if you're streaming quarterbacks, and you should absolutely do that when it comes to DSTs. There's nothing wrong with carrying two DSTs. Just make sure you don't drop somebody good to get a DST for next. Like, yeah, I don't want to give, like, Jaden Reed is someone that fantasy managers, I don't like him anymore. He did nothing last week. Yeah, he's still good. And if I saw him on the waiver wire in my league, I would pick up Jaden Reed. I would rather have one DST and Jaden Reed than two DSTs. So that's where I would go with there. You want some other names. I still think Jameis Winston has some upside this week and next week. Tank Bigsby might be available. Sincere McCormick. Isaiah Davis. Dave, Jason, he's been the guy getting high-value touches for the Jets in the one game anyway. And he did it 2 games ago too, with Breece Hall kind of beat up. Unless Breece Hall practices on Friday, Isaiah Davis is someone that I wouldn't mind benching, maybe starting, but he's got some upside, and that's a running back that I could get really pumped about. Adam Thielen, if he's still out there. Elijah Moore, I'm not quitting on him. I would stash Keon Coleman. And then there's nothing really good at tight end. Maybe Jake Ferguson, maybe Dalton Schultz, maybe Jawan Johnson. That's it. If you're streaming tight ends, those are the names that you're looking at.
A lot of people smack dab in the playoffs. This is where all the money is made. Where you mentioned you used the Irish Spring, you threw on the cologne, you look beautiful. Where can they see you?
They don't want to see me, Dave. They want to hear me and my colleagues. We are live 10 a.m. Eastern in Cali on CBS Sports Network. It's available on Dish, DirecTV, all the other platforms that are out there. You can also stream it on Paramount Plus for free. That starts at 10 a.m. Eastern. We're going to go through all of our starts and sits, and we're not going to give you obvious names there. And then if you can't make it, maybe you're working. I don't know why. You just tell your boss, listen, I got to go watch something. I think they'd understand. But if you can't do that, the show will be on YouTube later, as well as the start or sit episodes of our podcast. We do 2 parts every week. We touch every game, every player in the National Football League. You can find that by going to YouTube and searching for Fantasy Football Today. You just go to the page, you subscribe to the page, you'll get alerts when we're live. You can ask questions when we're live, and you can watch all the episodes right there at your leisure, youtube.com/fantasy football today.
Well, thank you as always. And as always, Dave, every guest on the program gets a bag of Walker's roast chicken chips with Heinz mayonnaise in exchange for them coming on and giving us great knowledge. Yours are in the mail, my friend.
I can't wait.
I mean, right? Would you rather have a Jaffa cake?
I'll take the Jaffa cake, not knowing. Well, it's a cake. It can't be that bad.
Well, I'll send that to you along with some HP brown sauce. It's all coming your way right there in northern
Florida. They let you bring all that back from the UK. I can't believe you brought that back from the UK.
I can't believe they let me come back from the UK. Appreciate you, brother. We'll talk to you next week.
By the UK.
See you next Friday, my friend.
Guys. Be good.
Right,
good luck in week 15.
Thank you.
Thanks. I'll need it. That was an unnecessary shot towards the end. We'll take a break when we come back. All right, we move on. 3 for Madness. Niners and last night's win. I wrote this wrong actually, but I'll clarify it during 3 for Madness. And Devondre Campbell all in 3 for Madness next.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Now to Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
Welcome back to another exciting game day. Grab your rally towels, throw on your jerseys, cheer, shout, and save on your gas. That's right, sports fans win big on home game days. Score instant savings of 25 cents per gallon on Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline with the Fuel Rewards program. And that's a victory for you and your tailgate team. Download the app, join the Fuel Rewards program today, and game on. Restrictions apply. Limited time. At participating Shell stations. For more details, visit fuelrewards.com.
Seasons change, but if you hope to stay healthy, your body needs to stay active year-round, whether that's in the gym or on the trail or at work. And that's where the Good Feet store can help. Good Feet's personalized arch support system supports all 4 arches, relieving pain in your feet, knees, hips, and back. And Good Feet arch supports are HSA and FSA eligible. Visit goodfeet.com for an appointment or stop in for a free fitting. The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Vacaville, and in Reno on South Virginia Street.
3 questions, 3 answers. It's 3 for Madness on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Here's question 1.
All right, still a lot of show for you, including a Jason Ross edition, as always, a Friday Fun and Games. Brendan Nunes will join us in just about 40 minutes. Greg Papa, the voice of the Niners, post-mortem on the game, perhaps post-mortem on the season as well. In the meantime, Christopher Laud in the spotlight. 3 for Madness. Christopher, question 1.
Is there a sense of relief with the Niners losing last night?
Yeah, I think so. It's one of those. All right, we kind of knew they were out of it, but now they're out of it. Let me speak. I'm speaking for myself as a Niner fan. I thought they were out of it. I think most people did. Now I believe they are out of it. Now they can focus on the offseason, hopefully developing, some of the youngsters, maybe shelving the Fred Warners of the world. I'm sure they'll probably wait another week or two to do that. And then Brock Purdy needs to show something as well. So does Deebo Samuel. We might be seeing the last few games of Deebo Samuel with this team. And Jason, also, I kind of, look, I'm happy to call it a coping mechanism, but it's just kind of part of being a sports fan. I can now officially turn my NFL attention, that is the title attention, though I will keep watching, of course, every minute of every Niner game. But now I can fully throw my heart into the two teams that I want to be successful in the playoffs. If it can't be my Niners, I'm all in on Detroit. I'm all in on Buffalo. I'm not going to hate the world, if it's, Baltimore or what. Well, I don't really care about any of the other teams. I mean, the Chargers would be interesting just because they're kind of an underdog and Jim Harbaugh. The Vikings are kind of a cool story with Darnold. I'm sure I could find a couple other cool stories in there, but this. If it can't be my Niners, I think Bills versus Lions would be one of the coolest sports stories, honestly, in history when it comes to this stuff. Two lovable losers, two franchise associated with losing and just sucking, two franchise that have suffered tons of heartbreak over the years. I would just love to be able to know that it's house money, that one of them is going to win a title, and the only way you can determine that is in the Super Bowl, and to be in New Orleans and cover that and the whole thing. That's what I'm pulling for now.
And the best part, too, not the best part, we've got that game this weekend. Maybe that Super Bowl preview that you're looking for, and I know it'll be hit differently if it is actual Super Bowl. On the relief part, I don't know that I would say it's relief for the Niners. I think we just now know for certainty what their outcome and the finality of this year will be. I guess the question I would have, Dave, is we know a big reason why they failed to do well this year was injuries. I mean, that's 100% fair to put that there. I just want to know going forward if it's as simple as that, because as this team, it could be a one-year blip. Or was this the start of a bigger issue? Because to now go, well, McCaffrey will be healthy next year. Let's remember before he was a 49er, he did have some injury issues. And so now he's coming off a season filled with them. There's a couple other guys that have aged that are still good players but are aging. And I think the Purdy question is still a fair one. So I want to believe that, just get healthy and they should be a Super Bowl threat again. But I don't know that it's that simple. And that's what concerns me a little bit.
I think to say that it's Ayuk and Trent Williams injuries and Purdy missed a game, McCaffrey obviously, Greenlaw being out most of the year, Warner on a fractured ankle, Bosa. That's obviously the main event. That's the main, as you said, that is the foundation of why this team has been so bad this year. And that's good news in the sense that, again, unless it's a chronic thing, like you mentioned with McCaffrey, that's fixable and doable, you would think, with an offseason and rehab. But I think it would be foolhardy to say that's the only reason. Right. They've got issues on the line, on both lines. Trent Williams ain't getting any younger. Deebo Samuel's really got to figure it out. Brock Purdy, they may have to just have him play on a contract year because I ain't ready to give him $50 or $60 million. It's not happening. And Kyle Shanahan needs to mix some things up too. They need to probably replace their defensive coordinator again. And I love that Robert Saleh is kind of hanging around. I'd love to see that fit. And dude, we haven't even talked about special teams. Jake Moody, Wishnowski's been out. He's one of those guys that you don't notice until he's gone. But that special teams coordinator needs to be gone as well. Their special teams have been horrific this year. There's a lot of work to do, Jason, but I think it's doable work. So I think Niners fans can be fairly cautiously optimistic for next year.
Yep.
Number 2.
Question 2.
course, I closed out my text messages. Here it is. Dave, you would have been upset with the loss last night. On a scale of 1 to 10, how do you feel about the win?
I'm going to say a 9.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you exactly why. Honestly, it should be a 10. It's a win. They beat the Pelicans. They broke that 6-game streak. It's a road win once again. They have a win streak. The only reason I'm docking them a point is because I think, all bits aside, I wouldn't be covering them fairly if I didn't acknowledge that Monk and Fox had again, they were 9 of 31. They were 2 of 11 from beyond the arc. The bench was a combined 2 of 15 and 1 of I think 12 from beyond the arc for 9 points. They were down at the half. They were up 1 by 2. And again, they let CJ McCollum, who'd been shooting 70% from beyond the arc against them, they let CJ McCollum do his thing and have 36 points and damn near win them the game. The Pelicans shot 38% from beyond the arc. The Pelicans shot 47% from the field goal range overall, where the Kings shot 39% and 29%, and they still won the game. It was gritty. It was scrappy, whatever you want to call it. It's a win. But I can't give him a 10, dude, because that was some weak sauce also mixed in there as well.
Yeah, I mean, the premise is to win or lose, right? So all wins feel like they should be 10s, but they're not. I mean, this isn't as good as the Houston win. This isn't as good as beating Phoenix twice or Minnesota. So quality of opponent is a factor in it. And then it's how you play. To me, a lot of times it's more how you play. So the reference point I've been keep going back to, Dave, is when they switched to Malik Monk as a starter. And since they've done that, they're now 4-2. But I just think overall, that's when the breadcrumbs started to show, like, okay, there may be something happening here that's looking better, that's looking more sustainable. I'll even take the 2 losses in there. The one to the Spurs where they lost by 2, but played really, really well. Probably should have won that game. And the other loss was at Memphis. In this 6-game stretch, this was a win, but I thought this was the worst they played. But again, I think there's positives in that. I'm not giving them a 10. It's a win. I'll give them about an 8 because that's the goal, is to win. But yeah, it wasn't their best by far. But hey, you'll take it. You're back to 500. That's 3 in a row.
Very quickly, cut number 3 or question 3, please.
Question 3.
Devondre Campbell refused to go into last night's game for the San Francisco 49ers. Is this an unforgivable football sin?
Yeah, this is right up there with sleep. I mean, I honestly don't know if I should have made the question, which is worse, to refuse to go into a game or to have relations with a teammate's wife. I mean, I'm not even joking. Like, honest to God, it's on the Mount Rushmore of unforgivable sins. And to be honest with you, it may be the most. Being caught leaking team news to media. There's things you just don't do, and this guy is a veteran. He's been around the league a long time. I full on 100% expect for him to get cut today. Jason, one thing though, I just want to put a tiny asterisk on this, and I acknowledge there is a 99.59s after it chance that this is not the case. I just want to reserve like the 0.001% judgment, because I don't know his side of the story yet. I mean, let me just present something. Like, he got a text message 10 minutes before somebody came out and told him that his son was in a bicycle accident or some family tragedy. That's the only reason I'm not like going full bore, because I just don't know it. I expect that none of that's the case. I expect the Niners will cut him today. I expect he'll never get over it, but I just don't want to feel dumb tomorrow if it was like some horrific thing and, we were wrong.
Yeah, I feel like it is one of the biggest sins, but as you said that, it made me think, you know what would be interesting, and not that you'd want to put this up against something else, but if a player was found to be fixing a game, I almost wonder if some of the locker room would go, look, you're affecting my money, but I appreciate the hustle. Like, you're trying to get your money. In this case, you are just quitting on the team. It almost feels like that is the biggest sin. I don't know. Maybe the cheating on the team would be worse, but just hearing to a player, to an analyst, to anybody that's played the game, almost nobody has backed. No one has that I've seen, and they just can't understand it. They think it's the biggest crime. You mentioned Warner. Warner is playing with a fractured ankle.
Yep.
Everybody's going through. Nobody's healthy. Nobody's 100%. It's a brutal sport, and it's a team sport. You need everybody, and if you're asked to play, you've got to play.
Sad thing is, I believe he still gets a game check. Yeah.
Well, maybe his last one.
And by the way, we got a break here to clarify, and this is obvious, but just to make sure, you obviously meant betting on a game for the team to win. Like if you were betting against your team,
yeah,
or I can't.
Well, either I just threw them all. Yeah, but yeah, that's
all right. We'll
up
take
there.
a break. When we return, let's do a Kings rewind. Oh, I need to smile at this Devondre Campbell crap. Kings rewind and a post game reaction. Jason Ross will take you all the way through it next.
Kevin Herter plays here.
It's Herter. He's been hot. He fires. He's still hot. Kevin Herter from downtown has a 15-point first quarter.
Sacktown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by the San Francisco 49ers.
I'm Dirk Fedorn in the KCRA 3 Weather Center, and today we are going to see some breaks in the rain, but still some periods of showers will be popping up through the morning and into the afternoon. Temperatures warming into the mid to upper 50s for daytime highs with winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
Be there December 30th for Monday Night Football at Levi Stadium as the San Francisco 49ers take on Detroit. It's the final regular season home game presented by SAP. Tickets are available now. Secure your seats today at 49ers.com/tickets.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million+ products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With Venture X, earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy and turn everyday purchases into extraordinary trips. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges where you just check in and chill out. Open up a world of possibilities with Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
The holidays can be tough for some, especially if things from your past are still following you around to this day. Now, don't be afraid of your past this upcoming holiday season, as an expungement can help. And that's where the law offices of Jonathan Gonzalez comes in, as he's local and has a great track record. Now that expungement can help you get a job, get your life back in order, and you'll also get your constitutional rights back. He's offering discounts on expungements now through Christmas. Call 916-304-9187. That's 916-304-9187.
The holidays are always a great time to get together with family and friends, but nothing beats the thrill of Stockton Honda's deals. During Happy Honda Days, find the perfect ride in person or online. With over 400 new Hondas ready to go, now is the time to buy at Northern California's #1 Honda deal, Stockton Honda.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
#1 claims based on 2023 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Auto Motor Company sold on report.
Hello, I'm Frank Cock with Retirement Security Centers with a weekly economic update. Heading into the heart of the holidays, we all have some last-minute things to take care of. Shopping, planning meals, and possibly catching up on some reading. The Federal Reserve has one more meeting scheduled this year, and they have some reading to do themselves to help decide their path forward on rates. This week's CPI report showed inflation ticked up 2.7% annually in November. This, combined with hotter than expected employment numbers adding 227,000 jobs in November, will be read over and over by the Fed. If we see some slowing labor markets and signs that the fight against inflation isn't stalling, the expectation is that the Fed will cut rates again on December 17th or 18th by 0.25%. This could be followed by potentially 3 to 4 more next year, depending on how data comes in. While many of us may be slowing down heading into the holidays, workers in retail, food service, and yes, the Federal Reserve still have much to do. How might this affect you or your family? Please go to frankontheradio.com to schedule an appointment, watch videos, and receive market updates. I'm ready to help you start your journey so you can define your future.
Securities and investment advisory services offered through Osaic FA Incorporated, member FINRA SIPC. Osaic FA is separately owned, and other entities and/or marketing names, products, or services referenced here are independent of Osaic FA.
Capital Casino, conveniently located on 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
The only place in the morning to get your sports fix.
Live and vocal.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
That was almost a disaster. I ran back in here. I was running away. I ran back in here and I stepped on the corner of the Jaffa Cakes box.
Oh, no. Crushed cakes.
There's a little wrinkle. You can't see. Yeah, a little wrinkle right there. The Jaffa Cake. I don't even know what the hell a Jaffa Cake is. Like, this could be anything. It could be like orange filled. It could be chocolate. It could be nougat. It could be cream. I don't know.
What's the company? McVitie's? What does it say on the top?
McVitie's. Isn't that's super British? McVitie's.
McVitie's.
I gotta be honest with you, dude. I'm kind of pounding these roast chicken with mayonnaise chips. They're
the ones you offered to Dave Richard.
Yeah, like here's the thing: roast chicken. You know, it's not roast chicken. There's no roast chicken in there.
You taste the mayonnaise?
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I guess if you told me it was, but if I was like you, I would, bring everything back. Jason does it really well when his brother gives him all the foreign chips, and he puts them in like little individual Ziploc. See, for me, you put all the chips in individual Ziploc bags, I would just open it and be like, "Here you go," and I'd like cover the label or something. I'm not that. I'm far more lazy than you, but I don't think you guys would be able to be like, "Oh, this is roasted chicken." Be like it's I don't know, celery. I don't know what the hell that taste is. I didn't even know Heinz made mayonnaise.
Yeah,
Heinz is bigger over here or over there than I think it is back here. And I believe Heinz is an American. Was Henry Heinz. Yeah, that's that show I like on whatever the hell on Hulu, where they talk about like all the brands were made, like Heinz and Colonel Sanders and the M&Ms and Mars and all that crap. You know what I'm saying? So, anyways,
I do know what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying. Welcome back, Jason Ross. You and Chris Verlaud work very hard on this every week. I am happy to hand all, and I do mean all credit, because this might be my favorite segment on the show, because all I have to do is sit back and laugh at the two of you. It is Kings Rewind time right now.
Well, the Sacramento Kings had scored 281 points over the last two games, and they were anxious to get back out on the floor.
Okay.
The team had 3 days off to prepare for a team that literally ruined their season a year ago.
You ruined my life!
What's with the guitar?
I know. I think that little guitar riff at the end. It's tough to circle a date on the calendar for a game that was just added last week.
I'm not even supposed to be here today.
Nonetheless, the Kings had their shot at a bit of revenge in New Orleans last night against the Pelicans.
Pelicans play. Come on, Pelicans.
Maybe it's the city's mystique, the gree-gree, or voodoo that has done the Kings in against the Pels.
Voodoo Mama Juju.
What?
What am I going to do?
Did you want to hear that one again, Dave?
Please.
Voodoo Mama Juju. What am I going to do?
It was 6 straight losses to New Orleans, and it didn't seem to matter that they were playing without 2 of their biggest stars.
And all this time I've been going through such pain and personal anguish. Such hell!
Sacramento knew to get it done, it was going to have to be possession after possession after possession after possession after possession after... Okay, I'll stop right there.
What is wrong with you? Why did you have to phrase it like that?
Early on, you could tell this wasn't going to be a cakewalk or even a beignet stroll.
Of course.
The Kings couldn't shake him, even if Domantas Sabonis was going to work in the paint and was dominating in cleaning the glass.
That's great.
A close game shifted a bit in the third when the Kings unveiled a secret weapon.
The Annihilator 2000 is a lightweight, high-performance weapon that meets the demands of the new generation of upper-income urban survivalists.
The king of the MIDI committee.
Crank up the mids.
DeMar DeRozan started locking in and draining three-pointers and punches.
He's on fire!
With just 5 minutes to go, the Kings could taste the sweet nectar of a victory as they enjoyed a 13-point lead. But that lead started to disappear quickly like a gumbo pot left unattended.
Go get there and get that ball there.
I love how he does that live every time.
It's so great. It's the same cadence every time. CJ McCollum, a.k.a. the Kings Killer, put the team on his back, got it down to one possession in the game's final minute.
I hate you. I hate you.
That was
What is
me,
that
dude.
from?
That was me.
Signs.
Oh, yes.
Oh, it was. Oh, hold on. That was when little kid was having the asthma attack and he was dying in Mel Gibson's arms, and then Mel Gibson was fighting with God, right?
I hate you. I hate you.
Good pull. Sacramento has been the second worst team in the NBA in close games, and their mettle was getting tested.
I don't know what I'm doing!
That almost sounded like, hey, guy.
That was McGruber, wasn't it? Yes. The Kings weren't adding points, so they needed stops, and in the end, it was a clutch steal by Malik Monk.
I'm a pizza guy.
So the Kings win by 2.
It don't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. Winning's winning.
They end their drought against New Orleans.
Incredible.
That's 3 in a row.
That's called a winning streak. It has happened before.
And now back to 500.
We're not that bad!
Up next, 9 of the next 11 games at Golden One Center.
Welcome to my house.
So let's light that beam. There you go. Now you know what happened if you missed the game.
That is well. Nope. That is well done.
That is a rusty wheel.
You know, one of these days we have to do a Christopher Laud behind the music on this.
The true Hollywood story.
It's not just like just so people understand a little bit behind the scenes of, Jason writes, you got the highlights and stuff. And then Chris has to take all these clips, load them into a computer, and then cut off the beginning, cut off the end, blah, 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 trim it and get it ready to go. What really gets me is when he's sitting there. Jason, just read me a random highlight, just any of the highlights.
Okay, early on, you could tell this wasn't going to be a cakewalk or even a beignet stroll.
Okay, give me another one then. Sorry, give me one more.
Okay, let me just pick something here. I'll go right here. The lead started to disappear quickly like a gumbo pot left unattended.
Go get there and get that ball there.
Okay, well, the two
One
you
more?
read,
I think you're looking for one that's not a regular one.
I
That's
just
right.
grabbed two that are so random as I start. Okay, Sacramento has been the second worst team in the NBA in close games, and their mettle was getting tested.
I don't know what I'm doing!
So, that's the part that fascinates me. What kind of a sick, twisted, sick bastard mind does somebody have to be able to go, oh, here's what, I know this movie / TV show / music / commercial. I know where I'm going to get that clip. This will be perfect. That's the part that really makes me think Chris is simultaneously phenomenal, also might have human skin lampshades at home.
It's whatever's going on in that brain of his.
Or both. That brain is a fascinating place.
Matt George called it the Chris Roulade brain dump.
And I believe he might be on to it.
From the 916, I need to hear Jason Ross one of these days do the Kings Rewind in a 1920s radio guy voice. By the way, also a Chris Roulade bit.
Chester Q. Palmsdale?
Yeah.
That's Chester Q. Palmsdale, CQP. We'll take a break. When we return, programming note, guys, just got a text from our friend Greg Papa asking if he could move his hit back to 9:15. I told him, of course, no problem. So we'll get into NFL games to watch this week at 9. We'll switch Greg Papa to 9:15. But when we come back, ladies and gentlemen, the Kings won despite not shooting that great. We've got game balls to give out. We got the Jiffy Lube drive of the game. We'll do all that next.
Christmas music is everywhere. The smell of gingerbread is in the air. And wait, what's that sound? It's Santa. He's headed back to Sacramento for the 41st Annual Santa Parade, December 14th in downtown Sacramento. Bring your entire family to the parade route around the Capitol for over 100 floats, including marching bands, pageant princesses, clowns, horses, and of course, Santa himself.
The 41st Annual Santa Parade, Saturday, December 14th with Shriners Children's Northern California, Gurnick Academy, and the California Army National Guard. The fun begins at 10 a.m. Get more info at sacktownsports.com.
Whitey here reminding you that not all grills are created equal. Give your family a real treat. Bring out all the flavors of the upcoming holidays with the amazing Napoleon Prestige line of outdoor cookers. And get this, Napoleon Grill's Black Friday Cyber Mondays include a limited time $300 off their top-selling Phantom Grill and 15% off all gas, kettle, and travel grills. Napoleon grills are built different, built better, built to last. Complete with a lifetime warranty and premium steel that boasts absolute quality. Whitey and Napoleon Grills wish you happy holidays. Visit Green Acres Nursery today for your best selection of Napoleon grills and accessories.
At Makita, good enough is never enough. It's not just about the power and runtime of the tool. It's about the power and runtime of the pro. We obsess over fit, finish, and feel. Every detail, from coatings to contours, all to create tools that won't hold you back, so you can build more and never settle. If it's not right, don't put your name on it. Makita, available at the Home Depot.
Ho, 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 ho. Looks like you made the ice list this year.
Santa, don't you mean the nice list?
No, ice, because Prestigio Jewelers carries all the ice you need.
For over 30 years, Prestigio Jewelers has offered in-house financing and fine jewelry. Guaranteed credit approval between $400 and $10,000 with no money down options. Make this Christmas season unforgettable. The perfect jewelry, the perfect price, helping you build perfect credit. With locations in Sacramento, Stockton, Merced, and Fresno, or online at prestigiojewelers.com.
It's Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room, and guess what? Primetime football is back. Capital Casino is giving away $500 per game in high-hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game. As always, offering the best food, the best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. So check them out, Capital Casino, and always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Sacramento's premier country music festival, Country in the Park, is coming back May 16th and 17th at Cal Expo with Bailey Zimmerman, Billy Currington, Cole Wetzel, Nate Smith, and more. You'll enjoy food trucks, rock walls, and a mechanical bull, line dancing, and more. Single-day GA tickets start at $52 at CITPFest.com. It's Country in the Park, May 16th and 17th with Good Guys Heating and Cooling. Find out more at CITPFest.com.
The only place you'll find Kevin Herter is Sacktown Sports.
Herter's open, steps into three. He's got the triple.
Hey, Sacramento, it's Kevin Herter, and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sacktown Sports.
Your local sports leader. Carmichael Dave.
He has very good sources, and he just kind of tells it as it is and gets to the point.
Jason Ross.
He has a lot of pretty smart things to say. He's good at what he does.
On Sacktown Sports.
It's probably not a good idea for me to be doing a show when I have like literally 30 pounds in British candy and chips around me, because I do tend to get hungry during the shows, and there's not much to eat here in our New York offices. So I have broken into one of the double deckers, guys. And I got to tell you, Chris, have you had one before?
I've never had one.
We'll see if you agree with me or not, because I'll be bringing them in. But this is a crunchy. It's like if I don't know if you'll get this. If a whatchamacallit and a Milky Way had a baby, that's what this would be. Does that make sense? Yeah, milk McCall. Well, that's the guy that beat us last night. Almost beat us last night with all those threes.
CJ Milka
McCall. Yeah. Does that make sense? You guys like whatchamacallit bars at all? I do.
I don't know that I could remember. I mean, I remember them, but I don't know that I could remember the actual taste and what the consistency of it.
Most underrated candy bar is, in my opinion, is the whatchamacallit bar.
Oh,
yeah. Okay. Most underrated. Maybe I'll bring those in too, and then we'll use the hot plate and, do all the things I say we'll do that we never do.
Make some Velveeta macaroni and cheese.
Yep.
Ooh. Oh, God. Sounds, dude. God, Mexican food. I know that's not Mexican food, but Mexican food. You said cheese. You said cheese. I'm craving Mexican food so bad right now. Anyways, welcome back. My stomach aside, Carmichael Dave, Jason Ross, Christopher Alon for another 2 hours and 10 minutes before Alan Stiles joins us. In between that, we have Friday Fun and Games. We have Greg Poppin now at 9:15 and Brendan Nunes joining us in just about 10 minutes. Guys, it was a poor shooting night for the Sacramento Kings. There's no doubt about that. Some of the old demons coming. Well, I say old demons. Some of the not that old demons coming back to the surface, mainly the 3-point line shooting, 29.4%. I almost wonder, Jason, there's a part of me that says, like, did the Kings in the offseason go to the crossroads and make a deal with the free throw devil to shoot free throws, right? Because they shot 93%. They've been shooting free throws fantastically, but it's like it's almost at the curse of the 3-point line.
Yeah, which, obviously it's a bit of an oddity there. The free throw line, though, to speak to that last night, that specifically was their best percentage of the year at 93.1, especially on that many attempts. So that's one of the areas why they won the game. The 3-point shot was not good, but there were stretches where it was really important. DeRozan hitting all three of his. Keegan Murray, 3 of 7, Dave. I know that's not that's fine. That's good. That's acceptable. He's now 7 of 15 in his last 3 games. So something's a little bit better there for him. And Sabonis makes his only one. So it kind of feels like if you just get a 1 or 2 from DeRozan and Sabonis, that's going to help. And I know that Monk, Fox, Herter, your regular guys that are going to hit more, did not that night. But again, I think it's important to find a way to win. And they certainly did that. Despite shooting so poorly for the game, they still found a way to win.
22nd in the league in 3-point percentage. And just to drive home how good they are from midi and down low, they're 8th in the league in overall field goal percentage while being 22nd in the league from beyond the arc. Free throw percentage, guys, they're 5th in the league. They are just 0.6 of a percentage off of the first place New York Knicks. And there's a reason I mentioned making a deal with the devil on the free throw percentage because last year they shot a league low, as you may know, 74.5%. Jason, it's just one of those things. I'm just going to go back to it. It's so simple, yet it's so complicated. If the Sacramento, and by the way, I know we have people that listen all day, every day, and I love you for it, so I apologize for sounding like a broken record every day. If the Sacramento Kings can make their 3-point shots at a league average, they wouldn't be 13-13 right now. They'd be at a minimum, at an absolute minimum, 17-9. They'd probably be 18-8. Either way, that's good for a top 4 spot. And I don't know, Jason. Part of me goes, it's going to come around. It's going to come around. They did much better last year. It's going to come around. And then the other part of me is like, is it really? At what point do you say the duck is quacking like the dog, so therefore it's a horse?
Well, and I think that was the point. I think I mentioned this yesterday, but I know that Mike Brown went out of his way to mention this on his pregame before the Utah game. So his point was the Kings were 3rd worst in 3-point shooting. Houston and Orlando were worse than them. And there they are with 2 good records. So, I think this team can get away with shooting underperforming maybe beyond the arc as long as everything else is tightened up, but it just makes it more difficult. What makes everything easier is if you're hitting threes. And the night he says that, they go out and hit a season best 22 threes. So they're capable. I think a lot of guys have underachieved beyond the arc, but I think his point is attention to detail on those other areas that have hurt him will probably go a longer way than it's, if they're just trying to rely on making threes.
Well, as we said, when it comes to percentage this year, the Kings are far from good. Last year, though, The Kings were 16th in the league. That's almost dead middle. I mean, they were 1/10 away from 15th. They were 3/10 away from 14th. So let's call them. That's about as average as you can get, Jason. And they shot 36.6% from beyond the arc. Just to give you that idea, again, the Kings this year from beyond the arc, where are we here? 3-point percentage. The Kings are currently shooting 34.4, and that may not sound 2.6%, may not sound like such a big deal, but it is a big deal when you look at the volume that they're taking as well. It's just so vital, and I hope this core, I honestly hope this core can be the one to turn it around and they don't have to move somebody. We'll see.
Yeah, I hope so too.
We'll take a break. When we return, let's talk about that and more. Sacramento Kings sports insider Brendan Nunes joins us. We'll go over everything from last night and this upcoming group of teams, specifically the Lakers twice, really 3 times, and I think less than a week or right around a week coming up, and more. We'll do all that with Brendan Nunes next.
The only place you'll find Kevin Herter is Sacktown Sports.
Herter's open, steps into 3. He's got the triple.
Hey Sacramento, it's Kevin Herter, and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sacktown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
Do you have an invention idea but don't know what to do next? Call InventHelp now for free information on how to get started today. InventHelp provides invention services that help everyday inventors get started with their idea. We have representatives nationwide who will explain the InventHelp process step by step. Over 10,000 patents have been secured through InventHelp's patent referral services. Our services include professional materials needed to showcase your invention, and 3D animation and prototype modeling that help you demonstrate your idea. Get down to the details of your idea with a technical drawing. The InventHelp Data Bank includes thousands of companies who have agreed to review new ideas. We've been helping inventors since 1984. Let's help you next. Take advantage of the opportunity to get started today.
Call 1-800-217-4380. That's 1-800-217-4380. Again, 1-800-217-4380.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Dirk Verdorn in the KCRA 3 Weather Center, and today we are going to see some breaks in the rain, but still some periods of showers will be popping up through the morning and into the afternoon. Temperatures warming into the mid to upper 50s for daytime highs with winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
It's the year-end event right now at Folsom Lake Kia with huge year-end savings, low finance rates, and zero-down deals with approved credit. Come see my friends at Folsom Lake Kia and tell them DC sent you. FolsomLakeKia.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for American Energy Heating and Air with a question. Have you recently had a technician diagnose your HVAC system and you were a bit surprised at how much it cost? Or did something seem off about their quote? Because at American Energy, they take pride in giving you honest, straightforward solutions to get that system up and running. Have their qualified technicians come out and give you a free second opinion. It's free. You got nothing to lose but some dollars off of that original quote. They're making the uncomfortable comfortable. They've been doing it since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. That's why they keep having customers coming back for more and more and more. You can call them and set that appointment at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With Venture X, earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy and turn everyday purchases into extraordinary trips. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges where you just check in and chill out. Open up a world of possibilities with Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds, which could be life-changing. I mean, you could put that money towards that zero-turn lawnmower you've always wanted. And after using its edge-shaping technology to meticulously sculpt the face of the Mona Lisa into your grass, you'll become the undisputed king of Saturday morning lawn care, leaving your neighbor and sworn enemy Gary to question his place in the delicate neighborhood ecosystem.
And it's all because you could save money switching at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
Every rose has its thorn.
Get ready for rotten legend Bret Michaels, bringing his unforgettable show to the Nugget Casino Resort in Reno on December 28th. Experience all the hits, all the energy with the iconic voice of Bret Michaels. And here's the ultimate rock star bonus, a chance to win a signed guitar from Bret himself, exclusively at the show. Don't miss your chance to rock out and create memories that will last a lifetime. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. December 28th, Bret Michaels at the Nugget Reno, where rock and roll dreams come true.
Your local sports leader in the 916.
KHD1 Sacramento. KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, Sacktown Sports 1140. The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
Did he trip over the Jaffa cakes?
Maybe he tripped all over the cakes.
Honestly, guys, you know what happened there? And
What
I'm
happened
just
there?
I'm just gonna be totally honest.
Totally honest.
A friend of mine's here, and I was talking to him off the air, and he's over here from England, and we were going through these the double decker I was eating, the chocolate bar, and I was telling about the whatchamacallit, like I told you. And then I started spouting about that show I watch about the history of food I told you, with like Kellogg's and KFC and yeah. So anyways, I just went on this total rant with him on it because I get super excited. And then I went, oh, I'm working. And then how late was I? Pretty late.
4 days.
4 days?
Yeah.
Sorry, everybody. Welcome in. Hope you enjoyed that first part of the segment without me. We are back, and joining us right now. Is he joining us right now?
He is. Brendan's ready to go.
Kings Insider for Sacktown Sports, Brendan Nunes. Good morning, Brendan.
Morning. What's up, fellas? How we doing?
Oh, boy.
Fantastic. Fantastic, Brendan. 3-game win streak. Who knew? It's possible for this squad.
Absolutely. You know, when you do the same thing and take care of the details, possession after possession, and I'll spare you the 24 more. Yeah, I would say Mike Brown probably pretty happy with how they played defense last night. Winning a game where you're shooting under 30% from three is, I think, kind of points towards them taking care of those details like he wants.
Brendan, I'm not saying they're the best defenders on the team, because they aren't. But would I be way off base? And I'll, as always, push back. You won't offend me. Would I be off base if I said that perhaps the two biggest defensive success stories are Malik Monk and Kevin Huerter?
I wouldn't blame you. You know, I see where you're going with that. I think that they've been really active in passing lanes and getting deflections, even being willing. It's kind of something that Mike Brown's asked for a while. There's a lot of times where it ends up that, you know, one of those two, it really could be anybody, but one of those two ends up being the low man in that kind of last line of help defense, and standing in there and being willing to take a charge is something they've asked those guys to be able to do. And that and deflections, I think it has been embraced. You know, Kevin is also rebounding the ball better. I've thought throughout the course of this year, you could say the same thing for Malik. So definitely progress there, but I still think for what it's worth, Keegan Murray and De'Aaron Fox are carrying a lot of the work here.
For sure.
Yeah, as we're talking with Brendan Nunes, Sacktown Sports Kings insider. Brendan, the value of the win last night. Look, they've played better than they did last night. There's better wins overall, maybe the Houston game or a couple of Phoenix, Minnesota, pick all those apart. But just beating New Orleans, and I don't know that it mattered that they didn't have Zion and Alvarado and Ingram, but the team that really tortured them all of last year, and a lot of these are the same guys that are back. It's just one, but what do you think the value of getting that victory was for this specific group?
Yeah, I mean, really, it was a 5-20 team, and you mentioned their injuries. They had some of their guys back, so maybe that record's a little misleading, but you got to take care of business against these teams that are right around you in this standings, in this, crowded Western Conference. They've already lost to the Spurs twice. You've lost to the Trailblazers, and they're 3-0 against the Jazz, but these are the teams that are supposed to be kind of clearly at the bottom of the West, and the Pelicans have kind of emerged to be in that group, at least up to this point. And Malik Monk said at a recent practice, he thinks that, they're not, they kind of have to prove to themselves that they can beat good teams and do that a couple times in a row. But in the end, it's just as important and counts the same taking care of business against the struggling teams. So you need everything that you can get. I think obviously 0-6 against this team last year, and that probably has to do with the length a little bit. And like I mentioned earlier, I think embracing your defense specifically in this one is kind of just leaning into everything that Mike Brown was trying to get off his chest after that Utah game.
Brendan, when you look at the New Orleans game, I'm going to count that. So they're already 1-0. You got Denver. You got that home back-to-back with the Lakers. Then you have Indiana, Detroit, Lakers again on the road, Dallas and Philadelphia. Now, I understand, and Jason made a great point. Even though the Lakers and Denver, for example, don't have great records, it's still a brand name. There's still teams that worry you a little bit. But if I were to say Denver, Lakers 3 times, so that's 4 games. Indiana, Detroit, that's 6 games. And then let's add in Dallas and Philadelphia. So that's 8 games. What do you need to see the Kings win over the next 8 games to consider it a successful run?
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that you want to win 2 of these Lakers games, obviously, 2 of the 3. I would definitely say the Philadelphia game, they've been struggling, even though Joel kind of coming back a little bit here. Indiana might be the easiest game on the schedule through all of that, with how they've struggled. And I think the Detroit's been a little better this year. I'd say maybe 5 wins, 5-3 throughout this stretch. I think, again, it's, to Mike Brown's point, it's taking care of all the details. It's not getting bored of playing the right way. And they had averaged 127 over the last 5 games going into New Orleans, but now that's 3 straight games where you held the most that you gave up was 113, 109 against New Orleans, 97 against Utah. And I think that's where they can find some consistency here, is improving on the defensive end. And because shots just aren't going to go in every single night. Kevin Huerter had his moments. It looks like Keegan Murray is bouncing back from a slow shooting start, but finding consistency on the defensive side of the floor, I think, is where you could accomplish that. And this is a lighter part of the schedule, and you really do have to take advantage of it. So I'd say probably, in my mind, realistically hoping for 5-3 here. Where are you guys at?
Yeah, I think 5-3 would be the floor for me, with all those games being a lot of those at home. And you've kind of done the work to get back to 500. So if you can get 5-3 or better, now you're working above 500 and see if you can chip away more. And, we were talking about this part to kind of tie into that, Brendan, about what to expect next. That I think it was a couple days ago, Dave and I were talking about the Athletic had their early report cards on the team, and the Kings got a D, and I don't think that was incredibly unfair. I mean, they've underperformed. But in there, they talked about their offensive rating currently being 6th or 7th, defensive rating 13th. And when those are paired together, that should be a better team than their record is. So I looked at that as a sign of what they still could become. Like, if they stay in a top 10 offense, in a top 15 defense, I don't know how they won't end up with a good record.
Yeah, I could see it. I think I'm with Malik Monk's point, though, that they need to beat some good teams. Because if you go back and think about this season, like, what are the great wins? I would say probably Phoenix, Houston would qualify there probably. And then it gets a little shaky from there. 3 of your 13 wins are against the Utah Jazz. So it's, I think that I just need to see them string that together a little bit more against higher level competition. I thought they were fairly competitive against OKC until that fourth quarter. That's a big caveat at the end there, but I think that, this stretch isn't necessarily an opportunity to do it. And like I said earlier, the wins all count the same, but I'd be curious to see, are they going to get their annual beating in Boston this year, or are they going to be competitive in that one, So I think that there have been some encouraging signs for sure. And the numbers I'm a little unsure on, because I feel like there's just been so much variance game to game drastically with some of these numbers. The 142 games of 140 in a row against San Antonio and Utah, for example. And then you have the 111 that they winning a defensive game all of a sudden in New Orleans, or the game going back to the game against San Antonio where they couldn't defend the pick and roll for the life of them, it seemed like. So there's just so much variance right now game to game. But I do think that those numbers show there's the blueprint of a solid team here that is definitely better than their 500 record.
Well, because you look at the net ratings, you say a lot of the stuff you threw out there, that this is not a if we were doing like the blind taste test here for the teams, where you look at all their analytics and then say, guess the record. The Kings record is probably about 4 to 6 games less than where they should be right now. I've been saying, and I even said in the last segment, it's a broken record. If the Kings could shoot a league average, which they did last year from beyond the arc, they probably have 4 or 5 wins more than they do right now. Here's the problem. I don't know, and I asked Katie the same question. I don't know how Mike Brown and the rest of the coaching staff, or Monty McNair or whoever, I don't know how you coach a team to make their threes. Like, hey, guys, you got to make your threes. Yeah, duh, dude, we know. So I don't know how you coach for it or against it. I don't know how they don't need to scheme for it, because they are at the top of the league or near the top of the league in open threes. So I don't know how you legislate against that when you say, well, what's the problem with the Kings? 90% of it is they need to make their threes.
Yeah, I would say I think Mike Brown's response is that, he pointed in pregame before the Utah game that to the Houston Rockets and the Orlando Magic, 2 teams that are shooting worse from 3 than the Kings are, but more successful. And trust me, I know how crazy it sounds, because the Kings just do not have the defensive talent, obviously, that Houston and Orlando have, and that's how those teams are still winning those games. But to him, that's where they can improve. That's where they can be more consistent. And I don't think, you mentioned, what are they, 16th or something like that, or defensive rating currently. I think that's a fine place to float. We're just talking top 15, but you can't have those games against, you had back-to-back games against Portland and San Antonio. I want to say Portland had about 64 points in the paint, and then San Antonio, Chris Paul and Wemby just picked you apart in the pick and roll. So I think that's where they would look to find more consistency. But with the 3-point shooting, the only thing I can even think of to try to make some of it simpler for Keegan, Kevin, some of these other guys is what we've seen them do a little bit recently. You see Domas' assists go down because of it, but it's more pick and roll rather than VHO. If you're getting more standstill threes rather than, making it more difficult than it may need to be coming off movement and things like that. But also that's what these guys have done since they've been in Sacramento. And I think that they've proven that they're able to knock that down. So there's only so much you can do there. And I think because of that fact, Mike Brown would say, then, all right, we got to be better defensively.
Yeah, Brendan, one last thing for me on the bench. It hasn't been great, and that's fine. I think their starters are so overwhelmingly strong right now. But do you think, and maybe I'm just asking this knowing the answer here, I don't think we've seen in the years that Mike Brown's been here that he ever really gets a consistent bench rotation. And I think Herter's going to be playing and likely Ellis, but the rest of the group kind of shuffles around. Is that keeping them from getting consistent production, or is it just going to be so top heavy with a pretty spectacular starting 5 that the bench may not have as much of a factor anyway?
Yeah, I'm a little back and forth. I asked him about the backup center position at a recent practice, and he said that they're going to keep doing it by committee, and until someone consistently proves that they earn that spot, that's how they're going to do it. And a lot of comments like, well, how can they consistently earn it if they don't consistently get the opportunity? And I'm a little back and forth. I see both sides. Like, this is how Keon Ellis became, I guess you'd say, discovered last season. It's that other guys aren't cutting it. And I think Mike Brown is very big on holding guys accountable. And so you only have so long of a leash with some of these bench guys. And then you want to see what else you got. He was complimentary of how Kobe Jones did on Laurie Markkanen. I thought that was solid. I think I'm a little unsure about Kobe Jones' production on a game-to-game basis, but I see where he's coming from, and I think more than anything, like, Kevin Huerter is locked into that. I think Keon Ellis is obviously right there, and then we'll see where Trey Lyles may fall into things as he eventually returns here. But I kind of get it. I don't think that they have the greatest talent on the bench, obviously. It's pretty talented. Like, they signed Jay Crowder, and then he's starting right after, So I think a lot of it is, in my mind, understandable, because I don't feel like they have the greatest bench talent. Like Isaac Jones, I understand why everybody loves Isaac Jones. I love Isaac Jones. He's a great story, and he plays his butt off out there, but he still makes a lot of mistakes, and how much can you live with that before you have to, sort of pull a little bit of a short leash there.
Brendan Nunes, Sacramento Kings insider, joining us each week as we lay it out, and the good and the bad and the ugly. Kings win, the Kings win. Brendan, appreciate you. We'll talk to you next week, brother. Have a good weekend.
Thank you. Enjoy your candy, Dave.
Thank you, Brendan. We'll take a quick 30-second break. When we come back, it's a winning streak. We'll talk about it, and we'll try to play therapist with some of these fans in our chat next.
Monday night, Kings and Nuggets. Game night with Scott Marsh and the high flyer Henry Turner starts at 5:30. Tip off at 7. Your exclusive home for the Sacramento Kings is Sacktown Sports 1140.
Well, we know the holidays can be tough for some, so don't be afraid of your past this upcoming holiday season. And what I mean by that, if there's something that's still hanging with you, a mistake you made that's still following you around from when you were younger that you just can't get past, well, you can with an expungement. That's something that can help you out. It can help you maybe get a new job. It can help you get your constitutional rights back with that expungement. And right now, Gonzales Law is offering discounts on expungements now through Christmas. So you better act fast. As on the website, sacklegaldefense.com to find out more, or call them at 916-304-9187. So with this expungement, you can get back on track, but also there may be other reasons you need to call or look on the website about Jonathan Gonzales. He's been a successful lawyer in our area. He's local. He's reachable. He wants to help, and he's had great success for many, many clients before. So if you need representation with an expungement, with a wrongful termination case, a sexual harassment case, maybe an auto accident, whatever it may be, he is here. He has done it. He wants to help, and he's got a great track record, like I mentioned. Go to sacklegaldefense.com or call him at 916-304-9187. That's sacklegaldefense.com, 916-304-9187.
The only place in the morning to get your sports fix.
Live and local.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Welcome back. Carmichael Dave, Jason Ross. I want to get into our chat real quick, which is always dangerous, but I got Russ and Earl and a couple others. Shockingly. And look, let me say a couple things. First off, anybody can be a fan however they want. Dead stop. Everybody can fan how they want to fan. Okay. But I can also, we can all have opinions on the level of, or not the level, I should say, because I hate that. That's gatekeeping. The process. All right. I can't sit here on this show and be like, hey guys, the Kings have won 3 in a row and 4 of 5. And if you're not all happy, then you're a bad fan, because it's garbage, because everybody's a fan and they all have the way they feel and everybody takes stuff a different way. What I'm arguing with right now with those two, and I guarantee you more that are just kind of watching right now, is what I don't understand is the hate watching. Like, I don't mind if somebody says, hey, they beat the Pelicans. Yes, a win is good, but there are some flaws, and I want to talk about those because we're playing a bunch of teams with a crap record and there's trouble on the horizon. That is a 100% valid take. I think what my problem is when I see those same people, for example, the loss against Memphis, and I'm not specifically talking about Russ and others now. I'm just saying I did see this. I interacted with those folks. You lose to Memphis by 5. It's a good game. They're in it the whole time. There's never a situation where with those people where it's like, well, the Kings lost, but actually there were some really good things I want to talk about. I'm not that upset. There are levels to a win and there's levels to a loss. We say all the time, a win is a win, a loss is a loss. And yes, in the record book, yes, a win is a win, a loss is a loss. Whether you win by 1 or 80, whether you lose by 1 or 80, a win is a win, a loss is a loss. But there are things underneath those wins and there are things underneath those losses. I honestly worry for the mental health of some of our fans, because it's like, dude, I'm not saying you should say that everything's good and we don't have a 3-point issue and the bench isn't sucking and that we know all those things, but you got to allow yourself to say, hey, you know what? All that's the same, but guess what? We've won 4 out of 5. I'm going to let myself enjoy this at least a little bit. I'm going to be happy about this. Oh, by the way, there's these couple of things, because it's not the same on either side. Just call balls and strikes is all I'm saying. And balls and strikes aren't being called. Hate watching, Russell, is not rooting for the team to lose. That's just not being a fan. Hate watching is when you're looking for all the negative stuff to talk about and you have more energy about the negative stuff than you do about the positive stuff. And that is 100% you're right. It is 100% your right to do that. I'm saying, God, dude, why devote your time and energy? And this is coming from a guy who for 16 years rooted for a team that never made the playoffs and was the biggest joke in the NBA. I get it. But even during those times, hey, Tyreek Evans got Rookie of the Year. Oh, my God, DeMarcus Cousins with 50 and 20. Omri Caspi shooting with Steph Curry in a game that they freaking lost even. Like, we can go on and on every single year. There were times when you allowed yourself to enjoy a little bit of the moment. And if it's all about like, well, 2 years ago we were well, Jason just pointed out in the chat, hey, guess what? At this time 2 years ago, the Kings were 1 game better than they are now. And I can tell you for a fact that 2 years ago, when we looked at that team, which, by the way, Jason, didn't they start out, was it 0-4 that year?
Yeah, that year they're 0-4. And in this stretch, I'm looking at it, that first 26 games, they also had a 7-game win streak in there. I mean, this team has had 2 3-game win streaks right now.
They started out they were 0-4, and I believe one of those first wins was that De'Aaron Fox buzzer beater in Orlando. So, like, dude, they're a game. Not only are they a game off where they were 2 years ago when they were the 3 seed, when they were a lot, on a much better track, let's say, but you also have so many more different things to look at here that we've been trying to point out for the last couple of weeks. This doesn't make sense. This win-loss record does not make sense when you compare it to the analytics, when you look at their numbers, when you look at the net rating, the defensive rating. Their defensive rating is higher than it's ever been. Well, not ever, but in a long time. Their total overall rating, I want to say, I'm pretty sure is higher right now than it's been at this point of the season, any of this last run. That doesn't mean I'm not saying they're going to make the playoffs, dude. And I'm not saying that Keegan Murray's an all-star, and I'm not saying Kevin Herter's going to figure it out. And I'm not saying that we're not going to be sitting here 2 weeks from now after they get their asses kicked and lose a bunch of stupid games, that I'm not going to be sitting here with you guys freaking out. All I'm saying is, dude, they've won 3 in a row. They've won 4 of 5. Just let a little sunlight into your life. Just let a little sunlight into your life.
That's all you're saying.
That's all I'm saying, man. Just let a little sit back and have yourself a double decker or some roast chicken flavored chips with mayonnaise.
Yeah, and I think too, like when you're evaluating a season, where do you think this team is more likely to go? Are they going to be the team? And there's not a right or wrong answer. I guess this is what your opinion is of the team before the season, now that you've seen games. But I think those things constantly change. So before the year, Dave, for example, I thought the Kings could win 50 games. I did. And I remember it was a few days, maybe a week or so ago, someone texted. I remember you said 50. You think they'll win 50? No, not at that time. Not after they I think they were like 3 games below 500. They were playing. They had lost 6 or 7. They were playing terribly. No, I didn't then. Now that they're 500, I feel better about that. I'm not sure I'm going to stick to that 50 number, but I like the way they've played better. And the big move they made was moving Malik Monk into the starting lineup. They're 4-2. That's not, out of this world. But if that gets to 10 games and they're 7-3, well, and they're still up there in the metrics as far as where they were in a lot of the numbers going in, you're like, well, something's changed, something's better. So you kind of need to see it play out. Obviously, injuries will be important for them and or other teams. So do you believe more in, when they were losing 6 of 7, or how they've looked in the last 5 or 6 games? And obviously they're both teams, but which one are they more likely to be as this goes along?
I completely agree with you. And the numbers you put in there completely back that up. And I know we have to wrap it up. It's a good conversation. But I would just say this. If you're saying right now we're not as good as we were 2 years ago, and that's a problem, and that upsets you, well, then if you're not also allowing for the fact that we're a hell of a lot better than we were 3 years ago or 4 years ago or 5 years ago, those are both the same. Like it's the same type of dumb thing. Like, dude, I'm not going to sit here and say, hey, the Kings didn't move to Seattle, so we should be fine with it. Nor am I going to say, the Kings missed the playoffs for 16 years, so anything around. I remember when we all freaked out because they had an opportunity in Portland to win 40 games under Dave Yeager, and that didn't work out. That was 40 games. And I'm not saying that's how we should feel, because of course not, dude. You got to increase your expectations and you have to move the goalposts on yourself. But what I am saying is that you're putting more hate on your perception that this team is worse than they were 2 years ago than you are putting happiness that they're better than they were 3 years ago. That is a problem. That is a mental issue going on in your sports brain that you have every right to feel, but I just don't know why you would.
Yeah,
why
and
go ahead.
Yeah, the other part I would ask too is just in a generality, and I know it happened by the end of the season, but are the Kings, just a question about 2 years ago, when I think for the year, remember, weren't they the number one historically best offense until all that was smashed last year? But were they better off being the number one offense? And I want to say roughly 26th or something. Remember, we're like, if they could have just been a top 20 defense. They're like 1 and then 26 is my rough guess. And now they're like 8 and 14. Like, is that better? I mean, what's better about it?
That's the thing. It is part of it. It's a perception. And it's a good conversation, dude, because honestly, why look at the record we had when we were the 3 seed. And so if this team is playing the 3 seed team in a 7-game series, we could break that down. I know we're in fantasy land, but I just don't, we're on the same page, dude. And I'm honestly getting fired up, not because I'm trying to hate on Earl or Russ or all that. It's because I get it. I get it. I've been down that hole before. And I just honestly, man, I don't think I could live in a world that long where even after 3 out of 4 or 4 out of 5 and 3 in a row that I'm like, this sucks and this team is crap. Because by the way, you don't know that. I don't know that. And we get paid to do this. And we're just as dumb as you are. We don't know that. And we do know that this roster is better than it was last year. They're not as deep, but it's a better roster. Anyway. And that's all I have to say about that. We'll take a break when we come back. 4 Down territory. Lock of the week. What is your lock of the week in the NFL? Also, what is your lock of the week in the NFL? Army, Navy game informed. We'll get to all that right after this.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by the San Francisco 49ers.
I'm Dirk Verdorn in the KCRA 3 Weather Center, and today we are going to see some breaks in the rain, but still some periods of showers will be popping up through the morning and into the afternoon. Temperatures warming into the mid to upper 50s for daytime highs with winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
Be there December 30th for Monday Night Football at Levi Stadium as the San Francisco 49ers take on Detroit. It's the final regular season home game presented by SAP. Tickets are available now. Secure your seats today at 49ers.com/tickets.
I feel like I'm constantly cleaning hair off my bathroom floor. At least my Swiffer sweeper makes it easy. Sweeper heavy-duty dry cloths have ultra-thick pads to trap and lock hairs, like a hair magnet. And when I'm finished cleaning up my hair, Sweeper takes care of his too. Now the hair's gone, all thanks to Swiffer. Try Swiffer Sweeper heavy-duty dry cloths. I promise you'll love them or your money back. And also try Swiffer Sweeper Wet to make quick work of tough, sticky messes.
Febreze. As a rideshare driver, I love keeping my car smelling fresh and clean. So when I'm driving, I only trust Febreze car vent clips, featuring 3 distinct intensity settings, because it's that little touch that sets me apart. I can turn the intensity down for subtle freshness, or I can turn it up for when I want lots of scent. So whether it's set to low, medium, or high, with Febreze car, I know my car's going to smell amazing. Which keeps my driver rating right where it belongs. Picking up, Oscar!
Merry Christmas from Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, and we're still celebrating Black Friday all month long. When buying a car, getting a good deal, it's kind of the easy part. Where Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram really sets themselves apart from anywhere else is the experience, from sales to service and everything in between. It's why so many people keep coming back to Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. It's because it's the place where a handshake still means something. And if you've been wanting to experience that Jeep life, there's no better time than now. SacSuperstore.com, located off of Business 80 across from Hagen Oaks Golf Course.
Looks like you made the ice list this year.
Santa, don't you mean the nice list?
No, ice, because Prestigio Jewelers carries all the ice you need.
For over 30 years, Prestigio Jewelers has offered in-house financing and fine jewelry. Guaranteed credit approval between $400 and $10,000 with no money down options. Make this Christmas season unforgettable. The perfect jewelry, the perfect price, helping you build perfect credit. With locations in Sacramento, Stockton, Merced, and Fresno, or online at prestigiojewelers.com. Sacramento's premier country music festival, Country in the Park, is coming back May 16th and 17th at Cal Expo with Bailey Zimmerman, Billy Currington, Cole Wetzel, Nate Smith, and more. You'll enjoy food trucks, rock walls, and a mechanical bull, line dancing, and more. Single-day GA tickets start at $52 at CITPFest.com. It's Country in the Park, May 16th and 17th with Good Guys Heating and Cooling. Find out more at CITPFest.com.
Ba, 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 ba. Yep, 'tis the season. Hey, if you take pride in your gift giving, here's a great idea for you. Gift cards from the Good Feet store. Okay, so arch supports aren't exactly what they've been hinting for, but you know they'd love them. And with the Good Feet lifetime warranty, it's a gift they'll enjoy forever. Buy a Good Feet gift card now, and Good Feet will boost its value 20%. That's a 20% gift from the Good Feet store. The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Vacaville, and in Reno on South Virginia Street.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
Most people know that the term birdie in golf refers to a score of 1 under par, but where did the term originate? According to Scottish Golf History website, it comes from the early 20th century American slang term bird, which meant anything excellent. While a 1911 edition of Maclean magazine described a golf shot as bird straight down the course about 215 yards, the country club in Atlantic City lays claim to the first use of the word birdie. In 1898, A.B. Smith was playing the par 4 second hole when his second shot went within inches of the hole. That was a bird of a shot, he said, and claimed he should get double money if he scored 1 under par. He did indeed hold his putt, and the group thereafter referred to such a score as a birdie. In 1913, acclaimed writer Bernard Darwin wrote in the September issue of Country Life of his visit to America. He explained that it takes a day or two for the English onlooker to understand that a birdie is a hole done in a stroke under par. And now you know. That's Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
on Sacktown Sports.
All right, as we get to four down territory, there's a good conversation going on in the chat right now. Where's my guy? We have a newer guy in our chat, Mustache Spider. That's
Whoa.
his name. It's a Spider-Man logo with a mustache.
Okay.
He says, Dave, this team missed the playoffs last year, and it looks like they will again. Now, listen.
They might.
They might.
Yeah.
But I reject the premise of it looks like they will miss the playoffs this year. I completely reject that premise. They need depth, but this is the best starting five this team has had on paper, at least, since the 2002 Sacramento Kings. That Jason, is that not a fact in your mind?
I think that's my opinion.
I think that would be 95% plus of any analyst, broadcaster, or member of the fan base. This is the best starting five on paper since the 2002 year. The bench needs help, whether that's them getting hot, whether that's them figuring their lives out, or whether that's Monty acquiring bench pieces, which is much easier than acquiring starters. I disagree, and I've been thinking about it since the break. I'm not entirely sure that this team doesn't beat the team 2 years ago in a 7-game series. So we can do post-mortem at the end of the year. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
And there's going to be several more freakouts between now and then, but I don't think that I'm not entirely sure, Jason, that it looks like this team is going to miss the playoffs, not after a quarter of the season and them sitting at 13-13, a half game out of the play-in.
Yeah, not only a half game out of the play-in, I think they're 2 out of being 5th. I mean,
they're 1.5 out. 1.5 out, actually, aren't they? They're the Kings are 7 back of the Thunder. The Clippers are 5.5 back, and they're the 6th. That's 1.5, right?
1.5 from 6, but even 2 from catching the Warrior. I mean,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, all the way to 5th. Yeah.
Well, I'll go a step further. They're 3.5 out of home court advantage.
I'll go even further.
They're 4.5 away from the second seed. I mean, they just beat the Rockets at home, who tried to punk them. They just beat the Rockets at home a week ago. The Rockets are 17-8, and they're the 2 seeds. So when we're talking about, you're not beating any good teams, well, that's a pretty good team.
And I'll go even further. They're 8.5 away from having the best record in the NBA.
Thank you.
It's right there. I mean, it's right there.
Oh, but they've won 3 of 4, but they had that loss. It's not a 4 game. Really? Because the one team they lost to is also 17-8 and tied for the 2 seed, and they're 11-3 at home. So you know what? Take your negative. Wait, what is going on? Why am I the guy? What am I being? Why am I the guy being positive here? That's
Positive
not my
Dave.
thing.
Never
right?
give up, never give in when the Kings have a chance to win.
R.I.P. Positive Dave. Yeah, R.I.P. Dude, gross. I got to wash my face. All right, 4 down territory right now, please.
What is your lock of the week in the NFL?
Oh, lock of the week. Lock of the week. More like lock of the WEAK. Jeez.
Yeah.
Give me Monday Night Football, Falcons over the Raiders, just because I'm in that mood. It's in Las Vegas. The Falcons are 6-7. The Raiders got nothing. Actually, if I'm a Raider fan, I'm hoping that's the lock of the week, Falcons over the Raiders, because there's just no purpose in the Raiders winning a single game the rest of the year. So the big Roomba in Vegas, give me the Falcons.
My lock of the week, this is just a totally random game. I'm just targeting. They're favored by 5.5. They're on the road. Give me the Bengals going into Tennessee and smack it around the Titans.
Oh, I love that. I love that. No, I don't care. Number 2, second down.
What is your lock of the week in the NFL?
We get to do it again. You have another one?
Oh, you want me to make up one?
Make one up.
What is your
upset
of the week in the NFL?
Wow.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm going for it, guys. I'm going for it. I'm picking a team to lose that has actually won 3 in a row. I'm picking a team to lose that in their last 4 wins, they have won their last 4 games by a combined 9 points. And in 2 of those 4 wins, they have played 2 of the bottom 4 teams in the NFL. This team is also playing a team this weekend that is also in that bottom rung at 3-10. Ladies and gentlemen, I take you to Cleveland, Ohio.
What?
Jameis Winston.
What?
And the Cleveland Browns will upset the Kansas City Chiefs. And I want you to bookmark this, Chris, and replay it on Monday only if I'm right. But I want you to bookmark it because the Browns are going to say to the Chiefs, we're the Browns, and you're going Downs.
They're going to give them some brown sauce.
They're going to get, you know what? They're giving them a big pile of HP brown sauce, baby.
We're chiefed.
You're getting chiefed. That's my upset.
Wow. Okay.
You didn't expect that, did you?
No. I thought you were doing another lock of the week. I'm going to take on the road in Baker I trust. Baker and the Bucks going to Los Angeles to beat the Chargers. Underdog by 3. Chargers, both teams need a win, but I think the Buccaneers are going to find a way to win in Los Angeles.
Did I ever tell you my Buccaneers joke? If I did, yeah.
Oh,
a bunch of times.
No, I haven't heard it.
You haven't heard it? I don't think I can tell. Can I tell it on the air? I don't think I can tell it on the air.
You can't because you haven't done it before.
Wait, I did it before, or I didn't do it before?
You do it all the time.
Wait, I tell it on the air?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll tell you off the air.
I thought that you're scared now.
It's different rules when you're in New York. They're down.
Which NFL game would you most like to attend this week?
Which NFL game would I like to attend this week? Dave's making a song because he doesn't know the answer. Of course I know the answer. I just had to scroll. Sorry. I'll tell you what, it's the middle of December, and Carmichael Dave is going to be nice and toasty. No need for a jacket, ladies and gentlemen. I'll just grab some popcorn, maybe a slice of pizza that is native to the city I'm in. They have their very own style.
Allen
and
style?
I'm going to watch. Huh?
Allen style?
No. Detroit style. Take me to what I still think of it as the Pontiac Silverdome. The Detroit Lions at 12-1, taking on the 10-3 Buffalo Bills. Lions 6-1 at home. Bills 4-3 on the road. This is what I hope to be the Super Bowl preview. This is not just the game of the weekend, but by record, I mean, this is really so far the game of the year. You've got one of the top 2 favorites in the AFC. You got one of the top 2 favorites in the NFC. This is, I hope, going to be an incredible game.
What is Detroit style pizza?
I don't know, but I know they have one because I just found out.
It's
just found
almost
out.
like French bread-ish.
And don't they cut it square?
Yeah, it's almost like it's like in a like a lasagna pan type of thing.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. It's a rectangular pan pizza with a thick, crisp, chewy crust, traditionally topped to the edges with mozzarella or Wisconsin brick cheese. It's cooked in a rectangular pan. And then, yeah, I like rectangle pizza. I'm completely fine with that. And French bread pizza is fine.
Looks very bready.
It does look very bready, and I'm not. I know there's people who are like, oh, it's all about the crust. And no, it's all about the toppings.
Crust.
I would say it's kind of like the opposite of a Chicago-style pizza.
It's thick like it, but doesn't have the ingredients.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I would 100% take Chicago-style pizza over Detroit-style pizza, just for the record.
Well, Dave, if you're warm and cozy in Detroit with the Bills and the Lions, I'm going to be cold and freezing in Philly. The Battle of Philly and Pittsburgh in Philadelphia. That's a great game. Give me the Steelers at the Eagles for my game I'm attending this week.
Are you going there because you don't want to sit next to me? I refuse to buy that you'd rather go to the Eagles, Steelers than the Bills and Lions.
Yeah, you've had too many of those chips. I need you to clear that out for a little bit.
You don't want to smell my roast chicken, mayonnaise, and pickle breath?
I do not.
Okay. All right. That's
What's
fair.
next?
What's next? Fourth down.
Tomorrow is the Army-Navy game. Who you got?
America.
Oh, is it Navy's the one that's good this year? Right? Isn't it Navy? I think I got
Army.
Navy. Oh, is it Army?
Army's 11-1, number 22. Navy's 8-3 though.
You know what? Give me Navy. Just give me the Navy. Ooh. You know what I'm saying? Navy greater than sign Army. Anyways. Yeah. Well, you know what? While Army's out there armying, Navy's the one that's giving rides everywhere.
They're out there navying.
Navy is the Uber of the armed forces.
Solid color.
Solid color.
And hey, you know what? You know how like in the Army, entry level soldiers called a private. You know what entry level soldiers called in the Navy?
What?
A seaman. That's a true story.
Yeah.
No, I'm serious.
What is this? Elementary school?
So how come if we have Army, Navy, we have Air Force? Where's the Marines football team?
It's with Navy, right?
They're off coloring. Playing with Hot Wheels.
They're debate games.
Now, any Marines out there? It was Dave who said that.
Yeah,
Dave's joking. Dave's wait, watch this, guys. Dave's uncle's a Marine.
Thank you for your service.
I have a lot of Marine friends.
My neighbor's a Marine.
Right. By the way, why is it that if the Navy's all about water, why are they called the Marines?
Good point.
Thank you.
The Mariners.
Right.
The Clippers.
Give me Navy over hated Army.
Oh, I'm getting Army over hated Navy. You're just a color.
Hey, Christopher Laud, I got a couple questions for you because I would have never gotten this. Okay, so you know how it's like the Arizona State, whatever's, and the Sac State Hornets and stuff. What is Army?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Jason, I know
Eagle.
you know. I didn't know. What are they?
They are the Black Knights.
Oh, that's right.
And then what is a Navy?
Chris knows the Navy. I'm thinking.
The Rams.
Rams. Dave, do you know the Navy?
Well, they're not great.
They're not.
They're not bad. They're not great. They're not bad. They're the mid shipment.
Yeah, maybe we can break up the mids.
Yeah.
They're
mid. What kind of shipment are they? Mid.
Break up the mids.
I'll take a break. When we come back, who's hot, who's not, and we will recap 3 in the key, Trace in the key. For our Latin listeners, we'll do all that right after this.
The Sacramento Kings play here.
He's got the triple. Sacramento takes the lead. Outstanding ball movement by Sacramento.
Every triple, every jam, every Kings win.
Sabonis with the jam over the Joker. He's got the three-point shot.
Get your Kings fix all season long.
Right here on your home of the Sacramento Kings.
Here's a steal by Fox, the breakaway. He's got the rip with the left hand.
Sacktown Sports at sacktownsports.com.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for less. And for a limited time, new customers receive their second month free when they sign up and use promo code SECONDFREE by January 26th. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Do you need a new health insurance plan? Now is the time to get one. Literally. If you want Affordable Care Act coverage that starts January 1st, just make sure you apply by December 15th. But don't stress, Health Markets can help. At healthmarkets.com, you can look for available plans or find a licensed insurance agent. They'll answer your questions and when you're ready, even help you apply for your plan. Start the new year off with a plan that fits your needs and budget by visiting healthmarkets.com. Health Markets Insurance Agency, Inc. is licensed as an insurance agency nationwide except in Massachusetts.
Get huge year-end savings on the all-new 2025 Silverado. Now at Maida Chevy. With $8,000 off MSRP after rebates on select new 2025 half-ton Silverado LT and RST. And Maida Chevy has one of the largest selections of new 2025 Silverados in the Sacramento area. $8,000 off new 2025 Silverado at Maida Chevy. Now that's big. Huge. See them all at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
Not available with special financing lease in some of their offices.
Welcome back to another exciting game day. Grab your rally towels, throw on your jerseys, cheer, shout, and save on your gas. That's right. Sports fans win big on home game days. Score instant savings of 25 cents per gallon on Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline with the Fuel Rewards program. And that's a victory for you and your tailgate team. Download the app, join the Fuel Rewards program today, and game on. Restrictions apply. Limited time. At participating Shell stations. For more details, visit fuelrewards.com.
Hey, it's time to open up your calendar app for some incredible live events coming your way. This is the Sacktown Sports Live Events Calendar, bringing you the hottest shows in town. Kick off 2025 with country superstars Dylan Scott and Jackson Dean. They're hitting the stage at Thunder Valley on January 10th for a night of hot country hits. Again on January 11th, laugh until your sides hurt with comedy legend Bill Engvall. He's performing live at Thunder Valley, a show you won't want to miss. And the one and only Justin Timberlake is bringing electrifying energy to the Golden One Center on January 15th. This is your chance to see an icon in action. For a more intimate vibe, catch Bryce Vine at Ace of Spades on January 25th. It'll be an unforgettable night of alternative hip-hop. And finally, looking ahead to February 20th, Old 60 lights up Ace of Spades with their unique blend of rock and soul. Get your tickets now because these shows will sell out fast. For details and updates, visit SacktownSports.com. And stay tuned. This is your ticket to the best live entertainment in the 916, the Sacktown Sports Live Events Calendar.
What's hot and what's not. Brought to you by American Energy Heat and Air, making the uncomfortable comfortable. Head to AmericanEnergyAir.com to find out more.
What's hot?
Yeah, hot. Real hot.
And what's not?
It's not good.
Brought to you by American Energy Heating and Air, Sacramento's complete heating and cooling company and second opinion partner.
Who is hot?
Demonis Sabonis.
Domantas Sabonis.
Last night in the Kings 111-109 win over the New Orleans Pelicans, he had 32 points, 11 of 15 from the field. He was 1 of 1 from 3, perfect from the free throw line, 9 of 9, also had 20 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, and one hell of a model American.
He was darn good last night, Jason Ross. He is a pleasure to watch, and I don't agree that he's a divisive figure.
I don't either. I mean, he was terrific. I'm glad he's a King, and he's, again, we said it before, Dave, like going down that Mount Rushmore, he's going to be way at the top whenever his time is done as a King.
Who's not?
The San Francisco 49ers.
Whatever, dude.
Last night, the Rams became the first team in NFL history to fail to score a touchdown and have a player with 50 or more receptions entering the game and still win. Not a good look for the Niners.
I am sad, obviously. I mean, I am hurting about the Niners. Don't get me wrong. But it is kind of nice. Not nice isn't the wrong word. It is kind of a relief to be like, okay, we're done. Like, no, I don't have to hold on to hope. I don't have to sit here and, fool myself into whatever. Can I give you I'm going to give a shout out here to Raider fan. This is a stat that's been being thrown around, a real one. I'm not messing around. How about a who's hot shout out to Jacoby Myers?
It's about
Jason,
time.
Jacoby Myers, not just the law firm, but the receiver, is the only receiver in the entire National Football League since 2000 to have 95 or more targets in a season and a drop percentage of less than 3%, 2%, 1%. He has a 0% drop percentage. 95 targets, no drops.
Throw him the ball more.
Yes, I mean, I'm just saying. And Jacoby Myers, I love football players like that. Guys that are not going to make the Hall of Fame. They probably aren't, Pro Bowl type, whatever. But they're just there every year and they do their job and they're great at it. And you just don't really notice them until you notice them. And then you go, oh my God, like he deserves some love.
On a thin, painful season when at one point they were 2-2 and they've lost every game since. Not a lot of stuff to be excited about going forward. That's a nice stat for them.
I say hug of the day, Jacoby Myers.
Give him a hug.
Give him a hug. All right. Let's also give ourselves a recap. 3 in the key. Kings Pelicans right now.
All right. We had 3 predictions yesterday. That's why it's called 3 in the key. First one, Dave, we asked Kings coming off that big 3-pointers made against the Jazz. How many 3-pointers would they make against the Pelicans last night? You predicted 11. I predicted 13. Chris predicted 15. They made 10. So, Dave, you were closest.
Yes, I was.
We asked who would be the last King to score in the game. Well, it was a hoop by Keegan Murray to give him 111 points. They needed that. You said Dougie McDermott. So did Chris. You both were believing in McDermott. I had DeMar DeRozan. None of us got it. It was Keegan Murray.
Well, Dougie McBuckets was close, though. I was looking at his stat line last night. It was amazing.
What do you see? Tell me. Read them off if you don't mind.
I'll do you a favor. I will put his entire stat line together, and it will actually make a sound. Ooh.
Oh, I know. I read it this way. Ooh.
Always good when you score 18 points on 6 of 6 shooting in 6 minutes. It's always good to follow that up with an absolute DNP.
With a
ooh.
Lastly, a random stat, something different that you thought might happen or that you were predicting. Dave, you said De'Aaron Fox would get a technical foul. That did not happen.
No.
I said the Kings would come back from a double-digit deficit to win. They came back from 6. That's not double digits, is it?
Oh, you were halfway there, but you didn't get all the way there.
Okay. And then Chris said McDermott here, with 3 or more 3-pointers. Instead, he had ooh.
Okay.
What's next?
I think we did pretty well.
I did too. Maybe better on that than we did on the next segment when we recap the pick 6. Oof.
Yeah, I can't. Oftentimes, day to day, weirdly enough, shockingly, I honestly can't remember the things I said or picked.
Huh.
I do remember, however, that I do remember that I said Tutu Atwell was going to get. I'm not trying to give nothing away here. I'm just saying. I said Tutu Atwell was going to get a touchdown like in the 4th quarter. I'm like, oh, how's Tutu Atwell doing, by the way? I should check it out. Oh, he doesn't have a catch. And then, like, the next play, he had a 6-yard catch. So,
that prediction was after your Buccaneer joke.
We'll take a break. Greg Papa normally joins us in 4 minutes, top of the hour, Niners at 9. However, he had to move it back just to get some stuff done. He asked, of course, we're going to accommodate him. He will join us in just about 20 minutes. Coming up next, we will look at some of these other NFL games over the weekend. Plus, we'll recap the pick 6, Niners-Rams. We'll do it right after this.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sacktown Sports has you covered.
Touchdown! San Francisco! It's all on his shoulders. Fox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sacktown Sports and SacktownSports.com.
Want to have enough money for retirement
and travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals, and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio, so we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
What other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, it sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Intercepted by Fred Warner.
Faithful to the Bay.
Fred gets up and runs back the other way, 30.
Be there December 30th for Monday Night Football at Levi Stadium as the San Francisco 49ers face the Detroit Lions.
20, one block and he's in.
It's the final regular season home game of the campaign and presented by SAP.
Touchdown!
Tickets are available now. Secure your seats today at 49ers.com/tickets.
San Francisco!
Get year-end pricing during Happy Honda Days at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop for great pricing on our entire selection of new CRVs, HRVs, Ridgeline Civics, and Accords. Plus, with low finance and lease options, now's the time to buy. Hurry in and save during Happy Honda Days at Folsom Lake Honda, or go to folsomlakeHonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals, and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio, so we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
What other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, it sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet, Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. What's happening for the wrap up the year sales event?
We're giving you a head start on next year with up to $16,000 off MSRP on new 2025 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab 4x4s, starting as low as $36,325.
Wow, you guys are always looking forward.
Not only do we have great deals on new Ram trucks, the Hoblet Family Dealers is growing with a huge selection of used cars at the Hoblet Certified Pre-Owned Supercenter, with over 220 vehicles available and over 45 under 20,000.
Now more than ever, Hoblet needs to be your first stop when you need a new or used car. Search, select, and save through our whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection, nobody beats Hoblet, period. 16,000 total net savings on select new Ram 1500 models after 10,500 factory rebates and 5,500 dealer discounts. Rebates include 1,500 Chrysler Capital bonus cash, must finance through Chrysler Capital qualify, 500 business upfit, business ownership, and 500 upfit required, and 2,000 Ford Conquest cash, must own or lease a Ford, no trade-in required, 10th the net savings, 36,325 sample VIN 544-890. See dealer for details.
Capital Casino, conveniently located on 411th North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Hammer time thrown down by the link.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacktown Sports, 1140. The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
Yep. Yep. Welcome back. Final hour. Final hour of our week, by the way. Just a note, I will be back on Monday in studio with Jason Ross and Chris, and we will all be hanging out together, the three of us, going and doing our thing. All three of us. So stay tuned for that. Monday, 1-800-920-1140, 916-339-1140 is your text line. Guys, don't let me forget. I forgot we got to get to Jiffy Lube Drive of the game at some point. So
yeah.
Yeah, Jason, we'll make a note. Greg Papa will join us in just about 10 minutes. A lot of games going on this weekend. It's a great weekend for football before we get into the holiday schedule. We know what the headliner is. Packs at Seahawks, though, that's kind of an underrated, along with Bucks and Chargers, kind of some contenders. Same with Colts, Broncos. Those all have kind of mid-level, maybe up-and-comer playoff implications. Obviously, any other week, it would probably be Steelers, Eagles when you look at those records. And then, of course, Bills, Lions at the top. We've had some talks before when there's some, maybe a game or two that's great on the schedule. This is a pretty darn good weekend.
Yeah, the sneaky one is kind of like you said, the Colts-Broncos one, because we already have 6 teams in the AFC that have been eliminated. And I think if the Colts were to drop that game, that puts them in a really, really difficult spot. The Bengals are on the fringe. So we could almost have our AFC teams all wrapped up here pretty soon. It just depends on how things shake out this weekend. And then obviously their shuffling of the 7 could, in which order they finish can still move around. But I like the Bills, Lions, the Steelers, Eagles. There's some good games this week.
There are some good, and you know what I hope doesn't happen is the inverse of what we normally talk about, where we say bunch of bad games this weekend. They'll probably be amazingly exciting. I hope it's not a bunch of good games this weekend. They all cancel each other out, and it's all like 8-4,
right?
Or
exactly.
Whatever.
Scoregami.
We've got ourselves a pick 6, a very sad. If this was on network TV, there'd be one of those, stay tuned for a very special and sad edition of Pick 6. Parental guidance is suggested, but we got to do it.
Yeah.
Pick 6 right now, Piers.
All right, let's recap it. Speaking of that, Dave, I saw someone, I can't remember who tweeted it last night, so I apologize for not giving them credit, but I think they said they were talking about the Thursday night football game, saying, if this was the first football game ever, there wouldn't be a second.
That's actually not a bad point at all. That was rough acting. Well, even if you were a Rams fan, but at least you got the win.
Yes. But who do they play, Dave? How about the injuries? Wasn't a very, very good Niners team that they played.
That's right. Doesn't count, man.
Yeah. All right. We asked who would be the first 49er to score. Dave, you predicted Garendo. I predicted Jennings. Chris predicted Debo. So we had 3 different choices, and we all missed it. It was Moody.
Who did not miss it?
No, good point. He made a field goal. We asked for Garendo's rushing yard total. Dave, you said 86. I said 41. Chris said 0. He had a premonition that he wouldn't play. He ended with 57. So I guess I was a little bit closer, but
that's pretty good. That's pretty good. You get a solid W out of that one.
Okay, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Next, we asked for Purdy yards and Stafford yards. Dave, you said 265 and 300. I said 261 and 270. Chris said 282 and 268. And those two guys, wow. 142 for Purdy, 160 for Stafford.
I predicted that Matt Stafford would have 300 yards. They combined for 302.
Yeah, and Stafford, if I'm not mistaken, I got to 160, but 51 was on one pass.
Yeah, you're right. Puka Nacua had a 51. As a matter of fact, I'll go a step further here. 65, 77 of them were on 3 passes. That's bad.
That is bad. Next up, total field goals made. Dave, you said 4. I said 2. Chris said 3. And you said, yeah, that's kind of, I wasn't expecting this. Well, that's what we got. We got 6 field goals made. Yay.
Yeah.
Field goal fest.
Yeah. Field goal fest.
The man of the week going into the game, Deebo Samuel, wanted the ball more, talked a lot, had a huge drop in the game.
Shit.
Deebo's total yards, Dave, you said 130. I said 77. Chris said 96. Well, he had 2 rushes for 3 yards and 3 catches for 16. That's 19 total yards.
That's why you don't talk crap in the media, dude, because I'm not saying we wouldn't have criticized Deebo if he hadn't said anything. But when you go out in the media and you're like, I'm not getting the ball, and then you go out and you drop, I believe that was on 3rd down, probably a touchdown that may have won you the game. Straight drop it. Yeah, Deebo gets my hey, you should be quiet and not talk to the media award of the week.
Right, and that wasn't counting I was at yards from scrimmage because I know he had 2 kick returns, but yeah, so he had a rough day. The random stat, Dave, you did say Tutu Atwell would have a touchdown. Well, there were no touchdowns in the game, and Tutu Atwell ended with a catch.
1-1.
For 6. 1-1 Atwell had 1 for 6. I had the 49ers would make a 2-point conversion. They did after one of their field goals. They just didn't count it. So I missed that one.
I remember that.
Yeah. And then Chris said Brock Purdy would rush for 30 or more yards. He was close. 1 carry for 3.
Maybe he put on an extra 0 for funsies.
Yeah, we weren't very good.
Well, you know
Still did
what?
better than the Niners.
Yeah, that's exactly right. We actually did better than the 49ers did. Barf.
Barf.
Yeah, man, you know, I don't know. I know there's a lot of Debo sucks. Debo needs to go. And I would say this, like he turns 29 in January, and I don't know even if he has any value. Maybe I'm just being silly pants, but I feel like I would like to give him a chance to come back with a vengeance next season.
Vengeance. What's that look like for him?
Debo too with a vengeance. Well, I mean, I think he had the 77 catch, 1,400 yard year in 2021, where he also had 365 rushing yards and 8 rushing touchdowns. So just to remind everybody, bing, in 2021, Debo Samuel had 1,770 total yards with 77 catches. He had 6 receiving touchdowns, and he had 8 rushing touchdowns. He had 14 touchdowns and 1,700 plus total yards. In the 3 years that followed that, he's had 10 total touchdowns, and he's had just over 2,000 yards. I mean, he basically put his last 3 years damn near into one season in 2021. So when I say come back with a vengeance, maybe we've been saying that the last 3 years, and I'm just smoking something. But that being said, the season's not over, and who knows? Maybe he has like great games the rest of the year. Unfortunately, it won't count because they lost, Jason.
Yeah, they're again mathematically not buried, but they're buried, right? They're in a world of hurt. We said it was a must win. They needed to get it yesterday.
They're buried. They're Barry Williams.
Nice.
They're
not buried.
They're Barry. They're boysenberried.
They're Barry Sanders.
They're Barry Obama.
They're Barry Bonds.
God damn it, Barry! Why am I blanking? You're like killing me. I'm cheating.
They're Barry Manilow.
Oh my God, you're killing me on berries. Don't isolate that.
They're Daryl Strawberry.
They're Marion buried. All right.
Nice.
Thank you.
The Matrix, Sean Berrien? No.
We'll take a break. I'm disgusted with you when we come back.
Chuck. The disgusted with you reminded me of Chuck Berry.
Yeah, nice.
Marvin Berry. His cousin.
His cousin?
Yes. Your cousin, Marvin Berry. When we come back, Barry Zito, thank you, chat. Greg Papa will join us right after this.
Christmas music is everywhere. The smell of gingerbread is in the air. And wait, what's that sound? It's Santa. He's headed back to Sacramento for the 41st Annual Santa Parade, December 14th in downtown Sacramento. Bring your entire family to the parade route around the Capitol for over 100 floats, including marching bands, pageant princesses, clowns, horses, and of course, Santa himself.
The 41st Annual Santa Parade, Saturday, December 14th with Western Health Advantage, Gurnick Academy, and the California Army National Guard. The fun begins at 10 a.m. Get more info at sacktownsports.com.
Order for Jennifer C. Is this my double shot, double cream, double froth, double pump, double whip, double sleeve? Yeah. Can you handle that much caffeine? Did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year? Oh, really? That's great. Seriously, did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year? Yeah, you just said that.
Did you say I just said that?
Yeah, I'm cutting you off.
I can't have any more? Why not?
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
Lowe's knows that to win the job, pros need the best prices. That's why only at Lowe's, MVP's Pro Rewards members can get a volume discount on eligible orders as low as $1,500 at the Pro Desk. That means you get the prices you need to start any job, small or large, because Lowe's knows pros. Valid in-store only. More terms and restrictions apply. Visit Lowe's.com/terms or a Pro Desk for details.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
On Sacktown Sports.
Welcome back. Carmichael Dave, Jason Ross. And I believe I know there's some stuff here. I believe we have an open to play for our next guest. Am I right?
We do. We got to bring him in the right way.
San Francisco! He has nearly 40 years of broadcasting in Northern California. The voice of the San Francisco 49ers, Greg Papa. Sponsored by Sunpoint Public Adjusters, the gold standard of the public adjusting industry.
Oh, yeah. We bring in our dear friend, voice of the 49ers. At least he got paid to watch the game last night, and he did a fine job at telling the story, painting. It was like Da Vinci painting a weed, like one of them, like not even a dandelion, like just some grass, like in your lawn. Greg Papa joins us. Good morning, Mr. Papa.
Yeah, it wasn't a Sistine Chapel.
No.
Or was that Michelangelo? Which one of my favorites?
Yeah, one of them.
Maybe that was Mikey. Remember when the Niners used to score 4 touchdowns at open when we go, touchdown?
Yeah.
We barely got first downs. So I got excited over first downs last night and only got 11 of those and 191 yards, and lowest for Kyle outside of any game when the quarterback got hurt in Philadelphia in the championship game. And I'm from Buffalo. We like our indoor sports there because it's so cold. So we grew up doing a lot of bowling, always with a Jenny Cream Ale in my left hand, bowling ball in the right. And offensive football to me a lot when you have elite teams, and the Niners have been, where they're remember the game in Philadelphia last year, they scored 6 touchdowns on 6 straight possessions. To me, it's like, when you score a touchdown, you bowl a strike, you roll a strike. And when you kick a field goal, it's a spare. So last night we had no strikes. It was like everything was a gutter ball the whole night. And the Rams won the game with 4 spares, and the Niners only had 2 spares. So spare me. But, in reality, it was the weather. It was a lot of it. I mean, the first half was a slog. It did lighten up a little bit in the second half, but not good offensive football. And Brock Purdy in the rain or snow, it just has not turned out well for him.
Yeah, and the other part of the game too, Greg. I mean, I would say the Rams ran it a little bit better by the end. I mean, Kyron Williams got over 100. Guerrero was okay. It never felt like the Niners could get anything going really on the ground yesterday.
No, they ran it much better, Jason, in the second half. That's where the game was won. Kyron Williams got to 29 carries in the game. He had 29 4 days before against Buffalo. He came back and ran 29 more, 96 hours or 99 with the length of the game. That's amazing, 58 carries. And they wore the Niners down, and where the game went sideways to what a great return by big play Dre Greenlaw, the law. The way he played that first half. At one point, they had him for 10 tackles. I don't know. It went down to 8. It's somehow. I don't know how they're counting. But he was all over the field. And then he came off the field on a 2nd and 1. There was a tackle, a check down to Blake Corum, the back, and he came over and made the hit on him. And when he got up, he walked directly off the field. And it wasn't the Achilles again, but it was the knee, left knee on that same side. And he came out of the game. And young linebacker D. Winters already a neck injury. And then, the news of the night, and I'm sure we'll have more today on Black Friday, Devondre Campbell just, refusing to go back and go into the game at all. walking off the field, being sent off the field, I think. And Demetrius Flanagan-Fowles had to come in and play linebacker. And he's a good player. He also has a knee injury, so he was playing hurt. But he's a guy who was a safety early in his career who bulked up a little bit to become a linebacker. So, I think once Sean McVay saw 57's out of the game, 45's in the game, let's run the ball. Let's run the ball right down their throats. And then in that drive where Greenlaw left and Demetrius came in was their 17-play drive. And they ran it 10 times on that drive, and there were a couple where they got it over the middle to Puka on middle screens and won a shallow cross, and they took advantage of where Greenlaw would have been. And then one play, their guard, Kevin Dotson, came over and just literally lifted Demetrius off the field and put him on his back. So that's where the game was lost a little bit. The lack of the 49ers running the ball, and their front is ferocious with all their young guys that play in the front seven. They got a bunch of them. Young and Verse are just monsters on the outside, but not having Trey Greenlaw and Devondre Campbell refusing to go into the game left the Niners with a light box playing, safety at linebacker, and they ran all over him.
Greg Papa joining us. Greg, you are not just a friend, but you've been a counselor for me through the years. I'm honestly doing okay. It's almost a relief. Now I can focus on the Lions and Bills and next year for my Niners. But when I do, I know we're not at a postmortem yet. But when I look back, and I truly believe they're last night ensured they won't make the playoffs. That's just my opinion. I can look at Dre Greenlaw. I can look at McCaffrey. I can look at Nick Bosa and Brandon Ayuk, and up and down and up and down and up and down. But then you add in the tragedy with Trent Williams, the tragedy with Mooney Ward. You add in the craziness of a guy not checking in. Oh, by the way, our first-round pick got shot in the chest, and that's like the 7th worst thing to happen to this team this year. Like, I don't know. You've been around a long time, football a long time. You've seen a ton of stuff. You're a walking encyclopedia. Have you seen many years that stack up like this one when it comes to just how crazy this year's been for the Niners?
Yeah. I mean, the one that's, where they went to the Super Bowl one year and the next year it spun out of control, but we had a global pandemic that year.
Yeah.
I mean, millions of people died. No one cared about football, but that was a lot of the same. It's hard. I wasn't around the team then. They got kicked out of Santa Clara. They had to go to Glendale, Arizona. Put that factor in. From like early December through the end of the year, they spent the holidays away from their families. Just insane. So, that year's a one-off. You're not going to have that for once every 100 years. So that was weird. I mean, you get bad years like this. The Warriors had a year, the Warriors go to 5 straight finals, and then Steph gets hurt. They move into a new building, and they go 15-50, the worst team in the NBA. I think it's the Rams had a year like this. Hell, the Rams won a Super Bowl. The next year they went 5-12. They had the worst Super Bowl winning hangover ever. And then the heartbreaking is the Niners didn't win the Super Bowl. We lost it in the overtime, and we scored first. So it's just there. It happens. It's a product of a lot of things. Guys wanting contracts, the success of 5 years run, 4 years, and the body. It's a viciously violent game. Their bodies break down. Trent Williams can't play. Brandon Ayuk can't play. Javon Hargrave, Christian McCaffrey, your best players, all your Pro Bowlers from last year that only missed a handful of games. It seemed like they've only played a handful of games. I mean, the best stat of all, last year, McCaffrey, Ayuk, and Debo combined to score 40 touchdowns. They've scored 2 this year. McCaffrey, none. Ayuk, none. And Debo's just, the Debo drop last night has taken over the Debo, dagger, the Debo dig, the in cut. So it is what it is. What I would say is they got to rebuild and retool this, and not a complete, you're not going to shoot a cannonball through the locker room, but, the Rams were the ones, they won a Super Bowl. Right. And then what was their motto after that? F those draft picks. We're going to trade them all for Matthew Stafford and Jalen Ramsey, and we're going to star power you. Well, it worked. Odell Beckham Jr. got there. He wound up tearing his ACL. They had Donald. They had stars all over the place. They won. The next year, it crapped out. They went 5-12 after winning the Super Bowl. So what did they decide? Let's keep those draft picks. And let's draft Byron Young, 0. We'll put him at one end. Then the next year, let's draft Jared Verse, number 8. Let's put him at the other end. You want to run outside zone on those two jokers? Geez, Jared Verse is going to pick you up and forklift you. Then, last year, let's draft Kobe Turner, the conductor, in the 3rd round. He'll blow up you inside. You have 2 sacks from inside. Let's draft Braden Fisk, number 55. How fast is that guy? So the Niners need to build it from the draft. Trading all those picks for Trey didn't work out. Brock saved you. But the way to build teams in sports, because it's cheap labor in a league where you have a hard cap, you need to be more discerning with the draft picks. You can't just give them all away. And the Rams are starting to reload because they draft these guys. They're developing these guys. And when you keep signing free agents, a lot of them are going to be good players. But every once in a while, you get a guy that just doesn't fit. And for whatever reason, doesn't want to come in and play a game when you absolutely have got to have him. And you need to win this game to keep your playoff hopes alive. You bring in a guy from the outside that you didn't raise and develop in your own building and teach him how you do things. These things happen. So it happens. It happened to the Rams. It happened to the Warriors. I can give you countless examples where it's happened. It's happened. Now, how do you respond? I think the way to do it is to do it internally and start to draft guys that really know how to play as 49ers and teach them how to play so they don't tap out in the middle of a game ever.
Greg, is there any part of this season in your mind of Brock Purdy's season that would give John Lynch any reason for hesitation on going forward with him?
Yeah, that's the tricky one. I love Brock. I was on him before anybody else when I saw him in training camp and OTAs that rookie year. And I'm like, whoa, who's this guy? He's the one guy on the team that just goes through his progressions, boom, 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 and plays quarterback the way it's supposed to be played. But he's small and small hands. And then he got into games because of injury to Trey and Jimmy, and he balled out. We know the story. But there are moments where the weather's an issue. It's an issue. You're not going to play in dome stadiums in 80-degree California every week. You're going to have to go to Buffalo and even your own home stadium. It rains here, as we know. In December and January, it never stops. And the game he had in Cleveland last year on the shores of Lake Drury, ball coming out of his hand. He could not control the football. The home game against Green Bay, the divisional playoff last year, he put a glove on his left hand. It was raining, misting, and took it off after one series, didn't like it, could not control the ball. Figured it out at the very end. Went 6 out of 7 on the last drive to win the game. And the one miss was a drop by George Kittle. But then, you go to Buffalo in a snowstorm, and on the pullback, the ball slips out of his hands. Last night, trying to hit Kittle down the left sideline. It was tight coverage. I don't know how he got it so far down the field, Jace, but the ball just literally squirted out of his hands. And I didn't see obvious situations where he couldn't control it, but he missed throws. The one to Ricky right before they were going to try the Hail Mary on the outcut, and Ricky was hobbling, Ricky Pearsall, and looked like he went off with a knee after that. I don't know if he was slow getting to where he's supposed to be, but you got to hit that throw. He's a wide open pocket, U-shaped pocket, wide open. You got to hit it. And he missed him. And then he underthrew Ricky on the post route, the deep one that he got behind Keller Witherspoon could have been a touchdown. Obviously, the one to Darius Williams where, he threw it in over Jennings. And there was one to Debo over the middle last night. And the lack of size, sometimes you think when he's sitting in the midline, they call it the well right in the pocket. Can he see over all these big guys? These guys are huge in there. And Brock is 6 feet 5/8 of an inch tall. And a couple times before he got sacked, he literally jumped up off the ground like he was trying to see. I think he tried one pass when he jumped, like a jump shot, because I think he couldn't see where to go with the ball. He can't see from the midline. So yeah, I don't think he's gonna be the quarterback here, but I think you got to be creative how to move him, how to get him out of the pocket, how to sprint him, how to roll with him. If he is undersized and he has a hard time seeing, you got to give him a sight line. You got to move him. Drew Brees would get up on his tippy toes and make throws. But, Drew was so talented for so long. Honestly, if he was 6'4", 6'5", Drew Brees, and what was he, 6 feet flat, how many Super Bowls would that guy have won with Sean Payton in that offense and those receivers? He just in critical moments and big plays, the lack of height really came into being. And then, what he did with the hand size, how does he wear gloves? Does he learn to play with gloves for the tack? Tom Brady played with gloves. Peyton Manning played with gloves even indoors. He learned to play with gloves at all time. He's got to figure out a way to see better, and even in all kinds of weather, being able to just grip the football, which will allow him to grip it and rip it with confidence.
Worse places to be than Miami right around Christmas time. Yeah. Get a win there. The season rolls on. Miami, the Lions, the Cardinals. And then
Tough schedule, David. Tough schedule.
No, I'm with you, brother. Well, we'll get one more conversation in before Christmas, but in the meantime, fly out there safe, and we'll talk to you next week, my friend.
I know you guys love NBA up there. Raymond Ritter sent me a text about guys tapping out on a team. Remember the story of Cedric Ceballos years ago when he left the Lakers and went to Lake Havasu? Just took off for like three days. Like, what's he doing?
That's right.
Is he jet skiing or what's he doing? Water skiing on Lake Havasu, and then he just came back and played like nothing ever happened. So things do happen.
Well, we'll never do it. We're never tapping out. That's for sure. Right, Papa. You show up, you do your show, you go home. That's part of being on a team, right?
That's it. That's it. Black Friday.
Right. Yeah.
Black Friday today. And it's also Friday the 13th. Yeah, maybe I won't do it. Maybe I'll go just hide under the bed today.
Well, we're all going to wrap ourselves in bubble wrap. We will talk to you next week, my friend. Thank you, sir.
Take care, guys.
Thank you.
You too. That is Greg Papa. We will take a break when we come back. Final half hour of the program. What to watch, celebrity birthdays, and Friday fun and games in the final segment. My goodness, I'm so excited. Feel these nipples. I'm right back with Jason and Chris right after this.
Live and local.
With everything 49ers.
Intercepted by Fred Warner. Dives for the end zone. Touchdown! San Francisco. Bob George went up and caught the ball. Touchdown!
The 49ers play on Sacktown Sports 1140.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave from my good friends at American Energy Heating and Air. I have a question for you. Have you recently had a tech diagnose your HVAC system and you were surprised at the cost of the repair? We've been there. Or did something seem off about their quote? How are we supposed to know how much this stuff costs? Well, what if there was a place out there that had been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981, that had an A+ with the Better Business Bureau, that would come out to your house for free and beat that quote? I say beat that quote because they will. I'm that confident. I don't just endorse them. Don't listen to the droney guy who gets paid to say this. I've used them. My mother-in-law's used them. My father and my mom just got their HVAC system replaced by American Energy Heating and Air. They are fantastic. 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. Hey, American Energy. Making the uncomfortable comfortable.
O'Reilly. Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free and provides a report with solutions based on over 650 million vehicle scans verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we can recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
It's your last chance to snag Dell Technologies' lowest prices of the year before the holidays. The future is on sale today with limited time deals on select PCs like the XPS 16 that accelerate AI with Intel Core Ultra processors. This is their biggest sale of the year and the best time to upgrade, but it's only here for a limited time. Shop now at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
Welcome back to another exciting game day. Grab your rally towels, throw on your jerseys, cheer, shout, and save on your gas. That's right, sports fans win big on home game days. Score instant savings of 25 cents per gallon on Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline with the Fuel Rewards program. And that's a victory for you and your tailgate team. Download the app, join the Fuel Rewards program today, and game on. Restrictions apply. Limited time. At participating Shell stations. For more details, visit fuelrewards.com.
Ba, 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 ba. Yep, 'tis the season. Hey, if you take pride in your gift giving, here's a great idea for you. Gift cards from the Good Feet store. Okay, so arch supports aren't exactly what they've been hinting for, but you know they'd love them. And with the Good Feet lifetime warranty, it's a gift they'll enjoy forever. Buy a Good Feet gift card now, and Good Feet will boost its value 20%. That's a 20% gift from the Good Feet store. The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Vacaville, and in Reno on South Virginia Street.
Every road knows has its stuff.
Get ready for rock legend Bret Michaels, bringing his unforgettable show to the Nugget Casino Resort in Reno on December 28th. Experience all the hits, all the energy with the iconic voice of Bret Michaels. And here's the ultimate rock star bonus, a chance to win a signed guitar from Bret himself, exclusively at the show. Don't miss your chance to rock out and create memories that will last a lifetime. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. December 28th, Bret Michaels at the Nugget Reno, where rock and roll dreams come true.
Here comes Floyd, throw over the middle, intercepted by Fred Warner.
Faithful to the Bay.
Fred gets up and runs back the other way, 30.
Be there December 30th for Monday Night Football at Levi Stadium as the San Francisco 49ers face the Detroit Lions.
20, one block and he's in.
It's the final regular season home game of the campaign and presented by SAP.
Touchdown!
Tickets are available now. Secure your seats today at 49ers.com/tickets.
San Francisco!
Capital Casino, conveniently located on 411th North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
The only place in the morning to get your sports fix.
Live and local.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
All right, big weekend of sports. What to watch tonight? Lakers at Minnesota. Guys, help me out. I actually should have read about it and I didn't, because I know there's the whole rumor mill, and you know how social media is, and then there's reality. Is LeBron really taking time off for personal reasons, or is he just out tonight?
No, that's what it's been listed as. At least that's what I saw yesterday.
Okay, I see this stuff everyone's saying.
Probably celebrating Bronny's 30-point game in the G League last night.
That's what it is. Clippers at Nuggets, Suns Jazz, and then the one we're all waiting on, Spurs and Blazers. Jason, your thoughts on that one?
Go Blazers?
Blazers, yeah, right?
Yeah, drop the Spurs down another below 500.
We just talked about the NFL weekend and how much we're looking forward to it. But we all know that, go suck an egg, Bills and Lions. South Dakota, UC Davis, quarterfinals, FCS playoffs. And Jason, I don't mind telling you, I've looked at both, and I've looked at South Dakota's record, and more importantly, who they've lost to. I'm a little nervous about this one, dude.
Yeah, they're underdog. Aggies are underdog on the road. I mean, it's quarterfinals this far along. It should be tough. That's where Sac State season ended last year at South Dakota. We'll see if the Aggies will have it be any different.
We got a lot of business to get to. Fire up the celebrity birthdays. 1-800-920-1140. Phone number right now. Jiffy Lube drive of the game. You thought we were going to forget. Of course we aren't, because Chris knows how to text me. So thank you, Christopher. Appreciate that. Jiffy Lube drive of the game. $100 gift certificate to Jiffy Lube right in time for the holidays. You could use it for yourself, or you could do the thing too where, oh, hey, I got you a Jiffy Lube gift card for Christmas. I'm the best.
Yes.
That's the time. 1-800-920-1140. Jiffy Lube drive of the game. Celebrity birthdays. Jason Ross.
Okay, guys, on this date, in what year was the movie Jerry Maguire released?
Oh.
Show me the money.
Jerry Maguire, that would be 19. Oh, gosh, it's right in the 92?
Oh, no, I think it's more like 96.
We have a correct answer.
Yeah,
Christopher Ladd, 1996.
Yeah.
He is just, this is unfair.
It's not, yeah. Not
okay.
fair.
We'll see if he does really well on movies from before. How about on this date in what year? Uncut Gems.
Ooh.
God, I still haven't seen that, but I want to say it's like
great movie.
Yeah, I've heard it's really good. I've heard it's really stressful.
Yes, it's like watching a horror movie. Like, there's nothing scarier than that.
Yeah.
It's like when you're watching a horror movie and you're just like heart is beating out of your chest.
Yeah, I don't know. That's like a Kings game to me. I'll say 2017.
I'm going to say 2019.
No. We have a correct answer. It's 2019, Christopher Ladd.
I mean.
All right, Dave. Now we're playing on a fair field here. Happy birthday to Taylor Swift.
Huh. Taylor Swift is 32?
35.
We have a correct answer.
Oh, God. Get out of here.
It's Christopher Laud.
Yeah.
He's got 3.
Her album is 1989.
Well, your album's 1989.
Okay. Can he get 4 in a row? Happy birthday, Jamie Foxx.
As are the rules, when you get past 3, I have to step aside.
Yeah, let Chris go first.
Chris goes first.
I will say Jamie Foxx is 53.
Yeah, Chris gonna miss this one. Jamie Foxx, I think, is 56.
Okay, we don't have a correct answer, so the streak is over, and Chris's streak is over.
Yeah.
Carmichael Dave is closer, 57.
Really?
For Jamie Foxx.
Yeah.
Happy birthday today to Steve Buscemi.
Oh, God.
That one got you?
Yeah, because I feel like I don't ever think about how old he is, but I feel like he's going to be older than I think. Steve Buscemi is 62.
Oh, that's what I was going to go with. I'll say 64.
Good adjustment. No correct answer. 67.
Wow.
Steve
I was right.
I
said he was.
I was
going
to say he looks good for his age, but he looked like he's been like
that for 25
56 his entire life.
Take it from me, pal. Ugly people age better.
Happy birthday to Ted Nugent.
Too old. Ted Nugent, who did Stranglehold, which was many a UFC fighter's walk-in song. I think Ted's 73.
71.
Dave is closer, 76. Happy birthday to Dick Van Dyke.
Oh,
can you say that on the air? Didn't Dick Van Dyke? Didn't he almost? Didn't he run into some trouble in Malibu with the fires? Seriously, I thought I heard a story where like he barely escaped death or something.
Oh wow, I don't know.
Dick Van Dyke. You know what? Dick Van Dyke is 90. I'm gonna say I don't think he's 100. I'm gonna say he's 99.
I'm gonna say 98.
We have a correct answer. Carmichael Dave, 99 for Dick Van Dyke.
All right,
I love
365 more to go.
I love him, and I think it's amazing that he's still alive.
Dude, he looks fantastic,
doesn't he? He looks amazing, and he had like a big alcohol problem once upon a time, and beat that, and is still around. Also, saw Mary Poppins the other day for the first time in years with my daughter. We were just watching it like 2 months ago. I'm not even making a joke, guys. If you see Mary Poppins, she was kind of a piece.
Yeah, that's not news to anybody.
That's not a controversial take. Like legit.
No.
Okay, I thought maybe that was weird or something. No, dude.
And you discussed that with your daughter?
No. she's the one who told me. I was like, you're right. Mary Poppins is a peach. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Meow.
You know who else is hot?
Who?
Happy birthday to Richard Dent.
Mr. Richard Campbell.
Let me see. I think Richard Dent is an even 69.
And we all know Richard Dent from
Chicago Bears.
Bears.
Oh, 67.
Chris is closer, 64.
Ah.
Happy birthday to Raiders rookie tight end Brock Bowers.
And we know Bowers from the
Raiders rookie tight end.
Brock Bowers, 23.
22.
Chris is correct. Correct answer, 22. All right, 2 more. Happy birthday to Gleyber Torres of the New York Yankees.
Gleyber Torres is 25.
27.
Chris is closer, 28.
Wow.
And last but not least, happy birthday to Rob and Rex Ryan. Twins.
And twins.
60.
So if you get one right, you get the other right too. That's amazing.
Ooh, that's 2 points. 66.
63.
Chris is closer, 62.
The cleaning lady from Brady Bunch had a
just
donk.
that.
Oh, is that short for badonkadonk? Okay. You talking about Alice?
Did she?
I don't think Alice didn't have a wagon.
Sam thought so.
Sam the Butcher? Always bringing over a slab of meat to the Brady's.
Yeah.
Good for Sam. We'll take a break. When we come back, that'd be a fun Rushmore someday. Like, just from that era. You can do Mary Poppins. You can do the girl from Sound of Music.
Oh, no. Mary Tyler Moore. Goat.
100%. No argument here on Mary Tyler Moore whatsoever. Also, not mad at Shirley. Laverne
Shirley Hemphill?
No, from what's happening.
Yes.
That's a deep cut, dude. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll do Friday Fun and Games. No more talk on Alice from the Brady Bunch's wagon and more. That's right after this.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
So right now may be the perfect time for you to rethink how you pay for health care. And here's why. This time of year is decision time for a lot of people, but it's also when you can join MediShare and save even more than usual. For many families, joining MediShare means saving about $500 a month, which is a game changer for a lot of people, obviously. But what's more, MediShare members like it a lot. Their satisfaction rate is 98%. Imagine that. And MediShare is a proven thing, too, for over 30 years. It's a Christian community of hundreds of thousands of people now. And here's the thing. If you join before December 15th and you mention the promo code SHARE, they'll waive your application fee. So you save even more right off the bat. I'll give you the number here in a second, but just call and you'll get a price within 2 minutes. And again, the deadline is December 15th. So call now. You'll save even more. Here's the number. 877-26-BIBLE. That's 877-26-BIBLE. 877-26-BIBLE.
It ignites something inside of you.
Lightning and the thunder.
Sets alight an elevated state of being. Days are pure exhilaration. And the nights, they're simply electric. See it, hear it, feel it.
Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
I'm Craig Ashton of the injury law firm of Ashton & Price. The winter months bring joy, but also with more rain and snow, unfortunately, more accidents. Over the last quarter century, thousands of Northern California residents have looked to Ashton & Price to be their root op with a law license to guide them through the storm of an injury claim. As always, we wish you and your family the safest and happiest of holidays. But if you need us, at Ashton & Price, we're here for you. So whether you've been naughty or nice, happiest holidays from Ashton & Price.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Sacramento's premier country music festival, Country in the Park, is coming back May 16th and 17th at Cal Expo with Bailey Zimmerman, Billy Currington, Cole Wetzel, Nate Smith, and more. You'll enjoy food trucks, rock walls, and a mechanical bull, line dancing, and more. Single-day GA tickets start at $52 at CITPFest.com. It's Country in the Park, May 16th and 17th with Good Guys Heating and Cooling. Find out more at CITPFest.com.
We have finally made it to Friday
Let's end your week the right way with Friday Fun and Games.
on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
All right, the chat's out of control. Just out of control. Mary Tyler Moore. We got what's her name from what's the girl from Bewitched?
Oh my gosh.
Damn it.
No.
She was Bewitched.
Montgomery, maybe? Something Montgomery?
Elizabeth Montgomery.
Yes. There you go.
And I'm surprised nobody's brought up what's her face? I Dream of Jean, Barbara Eden.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's a Saturday conversation. In the meantime, it's Jason Ross, it's Christopher Laud, and Kyle Rittenhouse, and wait, where's Alan?
Wait,
No.
Hold up.
No, where's Alan?
Well, we're here with Kyle Ledbetter.
Yeah.
To begin
What?
with.
Yeah, we won't even say what you said.
What'd I say?
We won't say what you
Did
said.
I say?
Text you.
Okay.
You
All
just-
right.
yeah.
I'm
Yikes,
lost. Where's
yikes,
Alan?
That's all I'm going to say.
Alan is
Apparently, he's sitting in the parking lot on hold. So I'm here. Maybe he walks upstairs in the next few minutes. I don't know.
Gotcha. Oh, well, you know what? We're happy to have you here in your New York Liberty outfit.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
my
Okay, hold on, I'm
Sabrina.
Hold on a second.
Did you get the text yet from Chris?
Hold on. I'm looking right now.
Because you were going to be mad at yourself.
Wait, I have not gotten.
Someone in the chat.
No,
wanted to
I
tell him-
didn't.
Yes,
No, I
you
didn't.
did.
Yes, you did.
No, I
100%.
did
You
not.
100% said
I
that.
think if you look back at the video, the look on all three of our faces was like,
Did
wait,
I?
what?
No,
I
you know
thought it
what?
was-
You're right. I did because you're absolutely right. The react. Oh my God, I did. Holy crap! I need a freaking. What's when they do the thing on your brain where they look at it?
Surgery.
Wow.
Replacement.
Wow. Sorry, Kyle. How did
I
that-
thought you were just making a morbid joke there.
No.
I was like, what?
No. Oh my God.
Like, what did I do to you?
What synapses fired incorrectly there? That is so. Oh, you know why? We were talking about Barbara Eden. I don't know.
That's why.
I have no idea. I don't have an
Of course. The amount of times I've had that happen, I'm with you, Dave.
Oh my God! The end of the week. We have one more segment to get to through the
Almost
week,
made it.
and I do the stupidest thing all week. We love Kyle Ledbetter joins us, and we're very happy that he has joined us. Jason, follow that up, Jason.
I will try.
This is what happens when Alan is on the phone instead of being in the studio.
That's right.
Allegedly. I have not seen him yet,
Yeah.
but allegedly
Oh.
he is sitting in the parking lot here at the station on hold.
Oh well, that's good. Well, I wish I was there right now.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
best coming your way soon.
All right.
All right. It is Friday. It's time for some fun and games. Chris, do you have some music for us?
Yeah, please.
You didn't tell me what type of music.
Yes, I did.
Oh!
Now you're forgetting. I told you.
There's a lot.
You didn't tell me.
happening
You just said you just came in and you
I
did
said,
the hand
Chris, I'm
thing.
going to need that for the Friday Fun and Games.
This segment brought to you by Walker's Roast Chicken
Yes.
with Heinz mayonnaise. Get yourself some today.
Bag's almost gone, huh?
Jason, 2 bags are gone.
Oh, no.
I've been hungry.
Okay.
Obviously not eating enough.
I'm hungry, all right? Okay. Well, here we go. Starting tomorrow, guys, is the start of the college football bowl season.
Yep.
So today on Friday Fun and Games, Dave, Kyle,
Yeah.
Chris, I'm going to ask you if this is a bowl game or not a bowl game.
Oh, I love this game.
I
$7
love
looks
this
great.
game.
What was
Not
that?
me. That was not me.
I'm trying to get your music ready.
Okay.
Okay.
I thought you had that one saved. There it is. All right, Dave.
Uh-huh.
Why don't you go first here? Is this a bowl or not a bowl game? The Country Music Hall of Fame Bowl.
I'm going to say bowl game.
Okay. It is not a bowl game.
That was too easy.
Kyle, the Myrtle Beach Bowl.
I'm going to say yes.
Featuring Coastal Carolina versus UTSA. It is a bowl game
Oh,
this
my
year.
Good job. I'm rooting for Kyle today. Kyle, good job.
Which one?
Chris, Game Above Sports Bowl.
Man, that sounds so weird. It is a bowl game?
Featuring Pitt versus Toledo.
Oh
Chris,
my
you're correct. Carmichael Dave, the Rate Bowl.
Not a bowl.
Featuring Rutgers versus Kansas State. Dave's 0 for 2.
I'm
Kyle.
0 for 3.
Yeah, you're over the show. Kyle, the 68 Ventures Bowl.
This one, yes. I know this is a real
You
one.
know it's a bowl game.
Yes,
How?
because it's in the weirdest city ever.
Where?
I think it's in, I want to say, like, Mobile, Alabama.
Okay. Well, it is featuring Arkansas State versus Bowling Green. Chris.
Why is Mobile weird?
Yeah.
I didn't even know there was a stadium there.
Okay.
But they have a bowl game. Chris.
Whatever you say, Kyle, I'm in.
Chris, the Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl presented by Gin and Juice by Dre and Snoop.
Not a bowl.
Featuring Miami of Ohio versus Colorado State.
Thought you were tricking me.
The Snoop Dogg Bowl presented by Snoop Dogg.
Yes.
New album out this morning. I've heard half of it. It's good.
Okay. Dave, the Dollar Shave Club Bowl.
100% that's a bowl.
100% incorrect. Dave is still over. Kyle, the Geico Insurance Bowl.
Seems too simple to be true. I'm going to say yes.
Not a bowl. Chris, the Cricket Celebration Bowl.
That is a bowl.
Starting tomorrow, Jackson State versus South Carolina State. Dave, the IS4S Salute to Veterans Bowl.
If it's not a bowl, it should be. I'm saying a bowl, and I'm breaking the streak, baby.
You are South Alabama versus Western Michigan. Well done, Dave. Kyle, the Scooters Coffee Frisco Bowl.
Yes.
Featuring Memphis versus West Virginia.
Ooh.
Chris, the Art of Sport LA Bowl hosted by Gronk.
That is a bowl.
Featuring Cal versus UNLV.
I want to say he's taking it over from Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah, it used to be the Jimmy Kimmel Bowl, huh?
I think this is like the second or third year Gronk's done it.
Really?
Yeah.
And Snoop's got his own. Dave, America Runs on Dunkin' Donuts Bowl.
Not a bowl.
Dave, that's 2 in a row for you. Not a bowl.
Yes. Come back,
Kyle,
baby.
Want to Get Away Southwest Airlines Bowl.
No, that can't be a bowl.
That is true. It is not a bowl.
Okay.
And Chris, Staff DNA Cure Bowl.
What?
How do we spell staff?
S-T-A, well, how I spelled it, S-T-A-F-F. DNA Cure Bowl. Staff DNA Cure Bowl.
Can't be. I won't believe that it's a bowl.
Featuring Ohio versus Jacksonville State.
I think that one's in like Orlando.
So we know that they do mayonnaise for the Hellman's Bowl. What do they do for the DNA Bowl?
Oh, just a cheek swab.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Mayonnaise.
Dave, you were the star of today's show. That's for sure.
No, that was the. I will be playing in the Take the Colossal L Bowl.
You know what? It's not complete. It's not 100% Dave's fault. I will take 5% of the blame.
How so?
I'll tell you later.
Really?
Let's see if he says it again right now.
No, I want to know. Okay, well, tell me later too why you get 5%.
Oh wait, no. Oh, you don't know? Then I'm not taking the blame.
No, Chris. Honestly, it should be more than 5% for what you did. The thing that I don't remember, but then again. The mind is melting in front of everybody. For Greg Papa, for Dave Richard, for Brendan Nunes, for Kyle Ledbetter, for Jason Ross, for Christopher Lott. I am Carmichael Dave. Love you all. See you Monday. Light the beam. Bye-bye now.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento